And we say good morning to you. Welcome. We are live at Hardee's in Jonesborough on this Monday, November the 20th, Thanksgiving weekend, 2017. Show number 638 of the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Live at Hardee's, where we've got the Hardee's Classic starting tonight at Crockett High School. We'll tell you all about that. We'll be there broadcasting live. We're going to be bringing the Crockett High School semifinals and championship coming up on Friday and Saturday. We're very excited about that. So we'll tell you more about that coming up as the show unfolds. But three games to kick it off today, or tip it off. I shouldn't say kick, switching gears to tip it off. You've got three games at 5:30, Sullivan North and Sullivan South. At 7 o'clock tonight, host Crockett takes on Unicoi County. That's going to be a very, very good I keep saying football. Very, very good basketball game. And at 8:30 tonight, Daniel Boone takes on Northview Academy. Other teams in the tournament: Jefferson County, Volunteer, Happy Valley, and Morristown East. And of course, the marquee game tonight for me at 7 o'clock, Crockett and Unicoi County, is going to be a good one between John Good and Trevor Hensley and his outstanding Unicoi County teammates. That should be a really good game at 7 o'clock tonight. All three will be good. North and South, they'll backyard battle at 5:30. Crockett and Unicoi at 7 o'clock, and Boone and Northview at 8:30. Coming up again, as we said, live tonight from Crockett High School, the Hardee's Basketball Classic. Our 638th show, countdown to Christmas. We're at 34 days from today. And one birthday of note today, if you're a fan of Bo Derrick. Bo Derrick having a birthday today. Bo has 61 candles on her birthday cake on this Monday, November the 20th, 2017. We always dedicate our show to the man who hung on the cross. Again, no exception today. Out of the book of Acts 2, 25 through 27 says, "Because I am at your right hand, you will not be shaken. Woo. Therefore let your heart be glad, your tongue rejoice, live in hope, I will not abandon you." And that would be the verse of the day again from Acts 2, 25, 26, and 27. So we're here again. We've got lots to talk about. We've got college football, some shakeups in the top 25. This is rivalry weekend, of course. We'll break you down the Southeastern Conference, see what's going on there. Also, we've got college basketball, the NBA, the National Hockey League, Major League Baseball. We've got Greg Salyer going to stop by here a little bit later on, talk to us about Major League Baseball. My man Mike Hedrick's going to wrap up a very successful season for NASCAR. And so we sat out on Friday and picked who we're going to win, and I went 0 for 3, and he went 3 for 3. So I guess that tells you where I'm at and where he's at. So he picked all three guys: Christopher Bell in the Truck Series, William Byron in the Xfinity Series, and of course Martin Truex Jr., the sentimental favorite, and the guy that should have won it. Quite frankly, he did everything all season long as far as a mode of consistency to do that. So he did. He won the championship yesterday, holding off a hard-charging Kyle Busch. So we'll talk to Mike Hedrick at the top of the hour, the NASCAR fans reporter from Northern Virginia. Also, Jeff Birchfield stops by. Again, our buddy from the NASCAR, covers the NASCAR beef in the Johnson City Press, but also covers a whole lot more in sports, and we'll run all that down for you. So got lots to talk about here again on this Monday, November the 20th. It is Thanksgiving weekend, so there you go. Give thanks. We have lots to be thankful for. Talking to some folks over the weekend, I thought, man, I'm dealing with this and I'm dealing with that, and you are too. And then I look and I hear folks going through some pretty tough situations, to say the least, here in this holiday season. So you think you've got it bad, you might, but you look around. I promise you, my father used to say this, and he was right. Somebody's always got it worse, and so that's kind of the case what I'm seeing. So I'm dealing with my stuff, but again, give thanks. You say, well, it's easy, not easy to do. No. Well, yeah, it is easy to do, because it says, the verse of the week, the verse of the day, "I'm at your right hand, you will not be shaken. Therefore let your heart be glad, your tongue rejoice. Live in hope, I will not abandon you." Before we get started, a good long-time listener when I was on the radio, gosh, I bet we go back 10, 12, 13 years. The Eggman, Bob King up in Piney Flats, passed away. So his funeral is coming up today. And so again, our thoughts and prayers go out to that family, and our buddy Josh, who works at Bristol Motor Speedway. So his funeral, or his viewing, is today. His funeral is tomorrow at Tetrick Funeral Home here in Johnson City. So good guy. And so the Eggman, spoke to him a couple of weeks ago, and Bob fought a tough fight. And again, he's in a better place now. Bob King, the Eggman, who used to raise chickens, and of course had eggs and sold eggs, and gave that money back to local missionary projects in his church. It's the kind of guy he was. So anyway, he's going to be missed, and he was a regular contributor on this show back when I was on conventional radio. He called in every time we gave something away. He was calling in trying to win. He did on this show as well. So we're going to miss Bob King and Piney Flats. Quick break. We'll be right back. We'll jump in and go. I'm going to start things off by letting you know why I don't tell you about the National Football League on this show anymore. Again, this Yahoo Marshawn Lynch for the Raiders, which was my team. This guy's a piece of work. So anyway, he did pitiful. It's an embarrassment to this country, I think. We'll take a quick break, talk about that, and get it rolling. We're here at Hardee's where they have the $5 All-Star Meals. Check this out. Here's the $5 All-Star Meals, the double cheeseburger and jumbo hot dog. That is meal number 1. Number 2, or number 4 is the double cheeseburger and spicy chicken sandwich. Number 3 is the double cheeseburger and onion rings. You couldn't make it for $5. Number 2 is a 3-piece hamburger chicken tenders. So if you get number 1, the double cheeseburger and the jumbo hot dog, plus the fries, plus the cookie, plus the drink for $5, you can't touch it with a 10-foot pole. That's good stuff. Quick break. We'll be right back, and we'll tell you all about what's going on. We'll take a look first at, as we said, NFL and maybe a little NASCAR, and then we'll save the rest for Mike Hedrick coming up at the top of the hour here in the Tom Taylor Sports Show. At American Import Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the 8 areas of your vehicle that takes constant continuing education is the air conditioner on your vehicle.
Well, you would think that AC would be a simple one, but it's getting to be a lot bigger than just AC. It's the management of the system, not just AC, but heat and everything. It's a lot more computer controlled than it used to be. It used to be just a little button on the dash that you pushed. Now there's all kinds of electronics involved in that. Braking systems used to be fairly simple. Now some of the newer vehicles, you have to have a computer to actually operate the braking system to make sure that it's okay after you've worked on it. Computer controlled of the engine is becoming very important. There's a lot to that. Each one of these areas, the technology is just tripled and quadrupled in the last few years. It's hard to keep up. You really need to stay in the books and know what's going on with them.
American Import Auto Repair, Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111. Blue Lizard Australian Sunscreen originated in Australia, where sunscreen standards are the strictest in the world. Although our products are now manufactured here in the U.S., we continue to adhere to the most stringent Australian standards to offer the best in broad-spectrum sun protection. Blue Lizard, the brand most recommended by pediatricians and dermatologists. Our smart bottle turns blue in the presence of UV rays, reminding you to cover up. You bring the sun, Blue Lizard brings the magic.
It's Friday night at 7 o'clock. You've been involved in a car accident. You may be out of state on vacation or just a few miles from home. What do? Who do you call? At Farmers Insurance Group, one call is all you have to make. Hello, this is Jim Klein, an agent with Farmers Insurance. It's called One and Done. You don't have to wait till Monday morning to file a claim. You can make the initial call and we'll begin right away to help you. We assist you in moving the vehicle to a certified repair shop, getting you set up with rental car, and informing your agent. Then here the staff at Jim Klein Farmers Insurance, we follow the claim through to the end. It's that easy. One and Done. We're your one and done location for all your insurance needs. Auto, home, life, commercial, workers' comp, and bonds. We can help you with all your insurance needs. Give me a call today, Jim Klein Farmers Insurance at 247-5400, your one and done location in Kingsport, 247-5400.
Now available at Chick-fil-A, the crossings of North Johnson City. The Hash Brown Scramble, the first breakfast bowl with Chick-fil-A. The Hash Brown Scramble, a hearty breakfast option made with Chick-fil-A's signature tot-style hash browns. Scrambled eggs, a Monterey Jack and cheddar cheese blend, and a choice of sliced Chick-fil-A nuggets or sausage. Served with jalapeno salsa, the scramble can be enjoyed in a bowl or as a burrito. The Hash Brown Scramble Bowl, 30 grams of protein when made with nuggets. The bowl and burrito start at $3.49. Served until 10:30 every morning, Monday through Saturday. The Hash Brown Scramble or burrito, again at Chick-fil-A, the crossings in North Johnson City. Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show, we are live at Hardee's in Jonesborough on this Monday, November the 20th. Tomorrow will be Jim Klein Farmers Insurance. Wednesday and Thursday, taking those 2 days off and come back ready to roll, heading into the Thanksgiving weekend. Big-time sports weekend, of course. Rivalry weekend in the college football rankings. And so we'll be back on Friday at Champion Chevrolet on the Bristol Motor Mile, Johnson City. NFL winners from yesterday. Here's who won. That's all you're going to get. Baltimore, Detroit, Minnesota, Jacksonville, Houston, Tampa Bay, the Giants, the Saints, the Chargers, the Bengals, the Patriots, Philadelphia. Open date, Indianapolis, San Francisco, Carolina, the Jets. Tonight, Monday Night Football, Atlanta at Seattle. Oakland Raider Marshawn Lynch again protested the national anthem Sunday in a game against New England. They played it in Mexico City. He sat during the Star Spangled Banner, but he stood during the Mexican national anthem. Well, again, before all this happened, I was probably the biggest Raiders fan in the Tri-Cities. Don't wear anything, don't have anything to do with them. They're done, tanked, could care less. Good riddance as far as I'm concerned. So, President Trump slammed the top NFL player who sat with the Star Spangled Banner but stood for Mexico's national anthem. Now you think of that. The greatest country in the world. You think Marshawn Lynch going to make the kind of money he's making down in Mexico playing football? No. We ought to send him down there and see if he can make it. Again, Oakland Raiders running back Marshawn Lynch sat during the majority of the national anthem for the United States but stood for the Mexican national anthem before the game Sunday against the Patriots in Mexico City. Trump says, quote, Marshawn Lynch of the Raiders stands the Mexican anthem and sets taboos for our national anthem. Great disrespect. I agree with him. Absolutely. Next time NFL should suspend him for the remainder of the season. I agree. Attendance and ratings are way down. Good for them. I love it. So it's been an ongoing. So this guy goes out of our country in foreign soil and stands for the other country's national anthem and sets for ours. What a piece of garbage. So, whoo, laws of mercy. That is, there's absolutely no place for that. But, and it doesn't happen in our country. It happened in Mexico anyway. Tell me what you really think. That's what I really think. Marshawn Lynch and the Raiders and the NFL, good luck, because I'm done promoting. I can tell you that. Tom Taylor Sports Show. I'm going to promote this $5 All-Star meal here at Hardee's. Again, meal number one, a double cheeseburger and jumbo hot dog, plus fries, plus a cookie, plus a drink for $5. The number two, in fact, I'm going to get that today. I'm going to get a hot dog and a double cheeseburger. We'll get that number one a little bit later on. Or I may get the double cheeseburger and onion rings, meal number three. Or meal number two is a 3-piece hand-breaded chicken tenders. Or meal number four is a double cheeseburger and spicy chicken sandwich. All these for $5. Comes with a fry, a drink, and a fresh baked cookie. So if you come in here for $5, you get a double cheeseburger and a jumbo hot dog and fries and a cookie and a drink for $5. Couldn't make it at home, I can tell you that, for that kind of money. That is a great deal. Again, from the folks here at Hardee's and all the Hardee's locations. We're at Hardee's in Jonesborough, the oldest town in Tennessee. And also, for breakfast, they've got the Frisco breakfast sandwich. You can choose from ham or sausage or bacon. Your choice of the main meat. Comes with 2 slices, one of American and one of Swiss cheese, an egg, and all on sourdough bread for what, $6, $7, $8? No, for $3.49. That's every day, every breakfast morning, the Frisco breakfast sandwich at all Hardee's locations. You choose again of ham or sausage or bacon as your main meat, 2 slices of cheese, 1 American, 1 Swiss, an egg and sourdough bread, all that for only $3.49, which is a lot of sandwich for not a whole lot of money. Again, at all Hardee's locations. Again, 3 games tonight to tip it up and be ready to go. You've got 4 games today. Overlooked one. Volunteer in Happy Valley at 4 o'clock. At 5:30, Sullivan North and Sullivan South. Host school Crockett takes on Unicoi County. That's going to be a barn burner right there at 7 o'clock tonight. And then at 8:30, Daniel Boone's playing really good basketball for Chris Brown. He'll take on Northview Academy. So 4 games get it going today. We'll play today, tomorrow, take Wednesday and Thursday off, and come back Friday and Saturday. And so, again, the other teams involved are Jefferson County and Morristown East. So everybody plays today but Jeff County and Morristown East. They set the brackets last week in a blind draw. So, again, it's Volunteer and the Happy Valley Warriors of Chuck Babb at 4 o'clock, 5:30, Sullivan North, Sullivan South. Again, at 7 o'clock, Crockett, the host school, and Unicoi County, everything at Crockett High School again for the 28th annual Hardee's Classic. And then at 8:30 tonight, Daniel Boone and Northview Academy. That's what's going on there in high school basketball right down the road here in Jonesborough at Crockett High School. It is the Tom Taylor Sports Show. We thank you for being with us again on this Monday, November the 20th, 2017. We'll take a quick break, come right back. We'll take a look at college basketball. Busy day yesterday. Busy day locally, busy day on the national scope. The Bucks have their home opener tonight at Freedom Hall in Johnson City, so we have lots to talk about college hoops, both nationally and locally. We'll do that next year on show number 638 of the Tom Taylor Sports Show, live at Hardee's in Jonesborough.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
It's model year closeout with gym employee pricing and 20% off on 17 models at Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City. It's a great time to take advantage of closeout savings on our selection of over 300 Chevys to choose from. 17 1500 work truck, 23,995. 17 track, 17,548. 17 cruise, 16,488. 17 spark, 10,950. 17 Malibu, 18,985. Closeout savings, Saturday parts and service hours, and shopping online 24/7 will leave you asking, how do they do that?
At American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the 8 areas of your vehicle that takes constant continuing education is the air conditioner on your vehicle.
Well, you would think that AC would be a simple one, but it's getting to be a lot bigger than just AC. It's the management of the system, not just AC, but heat and everything. It's a lot more computer controlled than it used to be. It used to be just a little button on the dash that you pushed. Now there's all kinds of electronics involved in that. Braking systems used to be fairly simple. Now some of the newer vehicles, you have to have a computer to actually operate the braking system to make sure that it's okay after you've worked on it. Computer controlled of the engine is becoming very important. There's a lot to that. Each one of these areas, the technology has just tripled and quadrupled in the last few years. It's hard to keep up. You really need to stay in the books and know what's going on with them.
American Import and Auto Repair, Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
Your life is always changing. You never know what shape it will take, or how your financial needs might change. But if we talk about your investments and how they can provide for you and your family, the future becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Look here, you get a chance to win $100 cash. We're going to put $100 in somebody's hand coming up between November the 27th and December the 14th. Again, share, retweet the show coming up on Monday, a week from today. And again, we'll automatically enter you to win $100 cash. Other prizes, one share retweet equals one entry. There's no limit on the number of entries you can make, so good luck. It starts again a week from today and runs through December the 14th. We'll announce the winner December the 15th. Somebody's going to win $100 cold cash just in time for Christmas by simply taking the show and retweeting it and sharing it across the old social media, and we will tell you that starts again a week from today. Tell you what, been sipping on this right here. This is good stuff. Look right here, a little Hardee sweet tea. Woo, it is good. It's not too sweet and not sweet enough. It is perfect. It's good stuff right there. Let's take a look at college basketball from yesterday. Ranked teams, number 2 Michigan State, no problem with Stony Brook. They go 2-1 the Spartans with a 93-71 victory over Stony Brook. 14th ranked Minnesota, the Golden Gophers go to 4-0. They blow out Western Carolina out of the Southern Conference, 92-64. One upset, Texas Tech, the Red Raiders run their record to 4-0 in men's college basketball. They blew out number 20 Northwestern, 85-49 in men's play. Florida, the Gators go 3-0 in basketball, 7-point win over New Hampshire. It was 10th ranked Southern Cal defeating Vanderbilt in overtime, 93-89. And also you had 21st ranked St. Mary's running their record of 4-0 with an 18-point victory over San Jose State, 79-61 yesterday in men's top 25 college basketball. Today got some good ones lining up. You have 23rd ranked UCLA at 3-0 against the Creighton Blue Jays at 3-0 in men's top 25 play. 24th ranked West Virginia, the Mountaineers at home at 2-1 against Long Beach State, also a 2-1 team. 25th ranked Baylor at 3-0 plays at Wisconsin, who's 2-1 tonight. And 9th ranked North Carolina, defending national champions, the Tar Heels at 2-0, playing at Stanford. Good ball game tonight. Stanford at 3-1. The Cardinal hosting the Tar Heels again out on the left coast, and so North Carolina, the Tar Heels at 2-0. Stanford at 3-1. That's a good one. Also, games involving top 25 teams tonight. Wichita State, the Shockers, number 6 at California, top-ranked Duke hosting Furman. That should be a checkbook game. The Dukies ought to blow them out. So top-ranked Duke hosting Furman tonight. 16th ranked Texas A&M. 16th ranked will be at Oklahoma State. Also tonight you have 12th ranked Cincinnati, the Bearcats at 3-0, home to Buffalo, who's 2-0. Kentucky, the Wildcats at 3-1, home in Rupp Arena against Troy. 15th ranked Xavier, the Musketeers at 3-0, playing host to Hampton tonight. 13th ranked Notre Dame will be at Chaminade, and so that's the games again happening involving top 25 in college basketball for this Monday, November the 20th. A little closer to home, East Tennessee State set for their home basketball opener tonight, taking on Delaware State, a 7 o'clock tip at Freedom Hall. The Bucks are 1-2, opening the season with 3 road games, Northern Kentucky and Savannah State, and in between that losing to the Kentucky Wildcats, so they're happy to have a home game for sure. And so the Bucks will be ready to go with, again, Delaware State coming to town tonight. And so this is a chance to see the Buccaneers at Freedom Hall in a 7 o'clock tip-off in their home opener for the 2017-2018 season. Also, Tiana Tartar leads the Lady Bucks past Duquesne yesterday, 33 points. Again, they win 81-77 over Duquesne at Brooks Gym. Tartar still wearing that mask after getting hit in the nose, breaking her nose, and taking stitches. When they lost down to UT last Sunday to the Lady Vols. Tartar out there playing nonetheless, and not only playing but just taking over the basketball game. This lady can play, formerly from Science Hill. Lady Bucks improved to 4-1. The Lady Dukes fell to 2-2. The Bucks return to action November the 24th when they play number 6 ranked Notre Dame in the Gulf Coast Showcase in Florida. So the Lady Bucks get a big win last night, 81-77 over the ladies from Duquesne at Brooks Gym on the campus of East Tennessee State University. So good start out of the gates for Brittany Uzell, and certainly doesn't hurt when Shy Copney comes back in town. She came back, transferred back, formerly at Science Hill, former teammate of Tiana Tartar, and so she's back in the fold and obviously playing some pretty good basketball right now for the Lady Bucks of Brittany Uzell. Quick break. We'll be right back. We'll check in with Karen Hubbs. She'll join us on the phone. The Turkey Trot, the biggest road race in the Tri-Cities every year. Over 4,000 runners scheduled to be there on Thursday morning in downtown Johnson City. She's going to join us coming up next. Tell us what's going on with the Turkey Trot. Here it is. You can see it, and it's not too late for you to get signed up and ready to go. She'll join us next. Also, coming up at the top of the hour, we'll hear NASCAR from Mike Hedrick, the NASCAR fans reporter. Greg Salyer comes along, talk about Major League Baseball. Got a lot of things going on in the offseason, the Hot Stove League, and then also Jeff Birchfield stops by from the Johnson City Press talking NASCAR and a little bit of everything. And so all that's coming up here in just a few minutes. Quick break. We'll be right back. We're live here on show number 638 of the Tom Taylor Sports Show, live at Hardee's in Jonesborough, again on this Monday, November the 20th.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City takes care of both male and female customers, but owner Kim Smith says they have a special care and concern for ladies.
Being a female in what's considered a man's business, I understand the trepidation that women may have when they come to the shop. They feel like they don't know about cars, they might be intimidated, but that's not the way we do business. Everybody's treated the same. We take the time to explain anything that they have questions about, the repair, the process, the part. We want to make sure people are comfortable with what we're going to do to their vehicle and that they understand. We do cater to women in a sense. We have a real nice waiting room with nice Keurig coffee and flavored creamers, air-conditioned, cushioned seats, TV, everything a girl could want while she waits for her car to be fixed.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111.
It's Friday night at 7 o'clock. You've been involved in a car accident. You may be out of state on vacation or just a few miles from home. What do? Who do you call? At Farmers Insurance Group, one call is all you have to make. Hello, this is Jim Klein, an agent with Farmers Insurance. It's called One and Done. You don't have to wait till Monday morning to file a claim. You can make the initial call and we'll begin right away to help you. We assist you in moving the vehicle to a certified repair shop, getting you set up with rental car, and informing your agent. Then here at the staff at Jim Klein Farmers Insurance, we follow the claim through to the end. It's that easy. One and Done. We're your one and done location for all your insurance needs. Auto, home, life, commercial, workers' comp, and bonds. We can help you with all your insurance needs. Give me a call today, Jim Klein Farmers Insurance at 247-5400. Your one and done location in Kingsport, 247-5400.
Now available Chick-fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City. The Hash Brown Scramble, the first breakfast bowl of Chick-fil-A. The Hash Brown Scramble, a hearty breakfast option made with Chick-fil-A signature tot-style hash browns, scrambled eggs, a Monterey Jack and cheddar cheese blend, and a choice of sliced Chick-fil-A nuggets or sausage. Served with the jalapeno salsa, the scramble can be enjoyed in a bowl or as a burrito. The Hash Brown Scramble Bowl, 30 grams of protein when made with nuggets. The bowl and burrito start at $3.49. Served until 10:30 every morning, Monday through Saturday. The Hash Brown Scramble or burrito, again at Chick-fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City. We're back with the Tom Douglas Sports Show. We're live at Hardee's in Jonesborough where the $5 All-Star Meals are going on. Again, that double cheeseburger and jumbo hot dog plus fries, a 20-ounce drink, and a fresh baked cookie for $5 at all Hardee's. You can't beat it. I'm telling you, it's a great, great value. The All-Star Meals at all Hardee's. You can work at Hardee's here in Jonesborough. Let's go to the phone. She's there, our buddy Karen Up. You see on the screen from the Turkey Trot. Good morning, young lady. How are you?
Good morning, Tom. I'm doing very good.
Yes, after the numbers you just told me off air, you should be very good. It's incredible. What'd you tell me? We got signed up over 3,400 for Thursday's race. Is that right?
We do. We're just shy of 3,500 at this point. And 2015 was our 10th year anniversary, and we've surpassed those numbers by about 400 people registered already. And we average about 700 to 800 people that walk in during packet pickup week and register. So we think we'll have our largest crowd ever.
Wow. And I was looking at the weather forecast, too. The weather's going to be cool Thanksgiving morning, but it's going to be okay. I mean, it's going to be up in the 40s and 50s, so it's going to be a good day. No rain, no snow, no ice, no wind, just a cold or a cool morning for Thanksgiving here in Johnson City. Did you tell me yesterday you had, 600 and some registered just yesterday? Is that right?
From 8 in the morning until about midnight when we shut down online registration. We had about 650 people register, almost actually maybe 675. It was amazing, and I had to go and pick up some family members in Morristown, and I was so excited because I was getting text reports from my team, and every time I'd get a text report, like seriously within minutes of each other, it'd be 50 people more than we had 10 minutes ago, and it was really neat. It's almost like watching the election. I don't know, people might not think that was fun, but I like politics, so.
Yeah.
I was very excited, and I'm surprised I didn't get a ticket driving.
I'm right there with you. Our buddy Karen Hubbs with us on the phone. So the Turkey Trot's coming up. If you still want to get in it, and folks say, yeah, I think we'll give it a whirl, you still can get signed up. Tell me about that.
Well, online registration is closed, but you can find out information at jcturkeytrot.com. But we will be at Memorial Park Community Center tomorrow and Wednesday from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. They can walk in and register at that point and help us get the largest crowd ever for the Turkey Trot, but also for Northeast Tennessee. We've been looking at some numbers, and we might have the biggest 5K race in all of Northeast Tennessee. So we're pretty excited. We've got a lot of fun things planned that you won't see at most 5K races. It's the place to be. And, you know, what thrills us to death is seeing all the social media pictures afterwards of just people with their family and friends and just enjoying the day. And of course, then they go home and celebrate Thanksgiving together as a family and friends. So it's a great day, and I feel like it's like Johnson City's very own, or the Tri-City's very own Macy's Day Parade. It's really became a tradition by many families throughout the region.
It's called the Turkey Trot. It's going to become the biggest road race to date in the Tri-Cities coming up Thanksgiving morning. Again, tell us where it starts and where it finishes, and kind of give us a quick rundown of the track. Or the course.
Well, we start and finish on State of Franklin near Legion Street, which is near Cardinal Park. Mm-hmm. And we will start there, and then we go down State of Franklin about a mile, I guess, and then we go into the Tree Streets, and that's where the majority of the course is. And if you're familiar with the Johnson City, historic Tree Streets is just a beautiful area. So we take the course right through that neighborhood in the heart of it, and then they will finish inside Cardinal Park Stadium. Basically, center field is where the finish line, or very close to center field. And everyone that runs our race will get a long-sleeve T-shirt as well as a finisher's medal. We do give out awards to the top 3 overall, male, female, masters, grandmasters, and then, of course, the age groups get awards as well. And then I think we might be one of the largest canine races, too. We have over 200 dogs that kind of do this race with their families. And we actually will have, we're doing a Grand Marshal contest as we speak. We're going to announce the winner of that later today. But we will have our first canine Grand Marshal. We've teamed up with the Washington County Animal Shelter, and they're going to bring out one of the little pooches. And I don't know which dog it's going to be yet, but they'll be here. So we'll have actually 3 Grand Marshals, 2 humans and 1 canine. So it's going to be sort of fun.
That is neat. It's all starting again. What time Thanksgiving morning? Cranking up, 8 o'clock? Is that right?
All the pomp and circumstances, I say, starts about 8 o'clock, but the actual race starts 8:30. We do have a hand cycle category, and they start just a little bit earlier than 8:30. We get them going, and then the major race starts at 8:30 on the dot if we can. We try to stick to the schedule as best we can, but you never know.
Well, yeah, with those kind of people trying to get them all set up and ready to go, it's going to be quite an undertaking, but it's what a great problem to have. You can still get signed up, as Karen said, Memorial Park Community Center tomorrow and Wednesday from 10 to 8. Over 3,400 already signed up and ready to go for the Turkey Trot. What is this? This is the what annual Turkey Trot? Number 11, number 10?
This is our 12th annual. 12th annual.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yep.
12th annual Turkey Trot. So
12 years ago, people thought we were crazy. Oh, nobody's going to show up for Thanksgiving Day, and we've proven them wrong. We had about 700 people that first year, and we've grown this thing to one of the largest races in the Tri-Cities, so we're really excited.
Went from 700 the first year to over, they're flirting with 4,000 for this year in just 12 years. So a great testament to Karen and her staff doing a great job. Ms. Hubbs, I thank you for your time. What do you want to leave us with today, my friend?
Well, come and join us. It's definitely the place to be on Thanksgiving Day. jcturkeytrot.com for more information, or just come to Memorial Park Community Center in Johnson City, which is off of 510 Burt Street in Johnson City, downtown. So lots of fun. We got lots of fun things in store that we're not even revealed yet, and you just have to come and see what there'll be.
There you go. Appreciate you, young lady. Yep, yeah. Good luck. Happy Thanksgiving.
Appreciate you.
Yours. Yep.
All right.
Talk to you soon. Our buddy Karen Hubbs again from the Turkey Trot. How about that? Over 4,000 will be ready to go on Thanksgiving morning. Again, in downtown Johnson City there, Cardinal Park. It'll start in around Cardinal Park. It'll finish back around Cardinal Park, actually coming out of near center field there. And, of course, you can go on the website at jcturkeytrot.com and find out more about that. Coming up, we'll take a look at college football. How about the NBA from yesterday? Your winners last night, Toronto beat Washington. It was the Pacers over Miami. Golden State, the defending world champions, defeating Brooklyn 118-111. Detroit beat Minnesota. You also had the Chicago Bulls. Actually, Phoenix beat the Bulls. And then you had last night the Los Angeles Lakers defeating the Denver Nuggets in the NBA from last night. Tonight it goes like this. Pretty full slate. You've got some good matchups. Cleveland, the Cavaliers, LeBron and the boys will be in Detroit taking on the Pistons. The Boston Celtics have won, 14 straight? They're 15-2. They'll play in Dallas against the Mavericks, who are having a tough season. They're 3-14. San Antonio, the Spurs at 10-6, hosting the Hawks tonight. Other games, Utah and Philadelphia. Minnesota at Charlotte. The Pacers in Orlando. The Clippers will be in New York to battle the Knicks. Milwaukee hosting Washington. Oklahoma City at New Orleans. Memphis at home. Memphis, baby. Against Portland. Did you see the story over the weekend where they found this guy? They think it was Elvis. He'd been living in his homeless shelter, and I think it was California, and he passed away, and they did the DNA, and he said it was Elvis Presley. I don't know. I'm just telling you what I saw. The guy looked a little bit like him, but anyway, Memphis, baby, home of Graceland. The Grizzlies hosting Portland. As we said, San Antonio hosting Atlanta, and Denver will be at Sacramento in the NBA. National Hockey League from last night. Let's run those down before we take a break for college football. Last night on the ice, you had Carolina, Colorado, the Rangers, Anaheim, and the Vegas Golden Knights getting W's tonight. The Predators at home, pretty good matchup. Nashville 11-6 against Winnipeg, 12-4 on the ice in Nashville. Then you have Columbus at Buffalo, Calgary skates at Washington, Toronto, one of the hottest teams in the National Hockey League. The Maple Leafs hosting Arizona tonight. Minnesota, the Wild against New Jersey, and you have San Jose taking on the Anaheim Ducks, again in the National Hockey League. And again, your top teams right now in the Western Conference, in this order: St. Louis, Winnipeg, the Kings, Vegas, and the Predators. That's your top five of the Western Conference, top five of the Eastern Conference on the ice. A lot of folks say thanks because they say a lot of folks don't talk about the National Hockey League. We at least give you the scores and the standings. Eastern Conference top five: Tampa Bay, Toronto, New Jersey, the Columbus Blue Jackets, and the defending Stanley Cup champions, the Pittsburgh Penguins, currently fifth best in the Eastern Conference. Quick break. We'll be right back. By the way, the Predators skate 3 times this week. Again, they're home against Winnipeg tonight. They're home Wednesday night against the Montreal Canadiens, and they'll go Friday night to skate in St. Louis against Le Blues, which is the best team in the Western Conference in Nashville. Pretty good schedule this week. They got 2 pretty good ones, Winnipeg and St. Louis, the top 2 teams in the Western Conference, and sandwiched in between those is a game Wednesday night on the ice against Montreal in Nashville. Quick break. We'll be right back. We got top of the hour talking NASCAR. Martin Truex Jr., the winner of the NASCAR 2017 Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Championship. We'll talk to Mike Hedrick, our NASCAR fan reporter, again at the top of the hour about that. Also, don't forget, we're back in mode for Speedway and Lights. Had the first big weekend, and so it is up and running, and of course it'll be going on tonight at Bristol Motor Speedway. Got that brand new display called Race to Space. Again, it'll be every night from 6 until 10 through January. It's 21st season, of course, and so they passed out checks last week. Claudia passed out checks, $805,000 with the different nonprofit children's charities here in the region. Thanks to you and I, and everybody went through the lights and all the different fundraising opportunities they did last year with Speedway Children's Charities. Again, it'll go through Saturday, January the 6th. Again, it's the nightly event, and so 300,000 lights just alone spread through the Darrell Waltrip Grandstand. So over 2 million lights all told. So it's last year over 200,000 folks went through, and I understand this first weekend was huge this past weekend at Bristol Motor Speedway. Opening in tonight. Again, 6 to 10 each night, 7 days a week through January the 6th. Again, it will be, a fun place to go. The Race to Space, which is a brand new display there at Bristol Motor Speedway. The Pinnacle Speedway and Lights, powered by TVA, the 21st magical season of that event, and it continues tonight at Bristol Motor Speedway and Dragway. Quick break. We'll be right back. Lots of news to tell you about in college football. Oh, yeah. Getting ready for rivalry weekend. You got Florida State. You got Ohio State, Michigan. You got South Carolina and Clemson. You've got, of course, the big one in the Southeastern Conference, Alabama and Auburn in the Iron Bowl. Roll Tide. There you go. Tell you what, it's going to be a good football game, no question. And I'm surprised old Gus Malzahn, Auburn's come around like they have, but they're flirting with the SEC Western Championship. The winner will play Georgia in the SEC Championship, and the loser, of course, will still get a good bowl ride. But the winner puts himself in position, of course, to get into that Final Four playoff. So a lot at stake. We'll tell you all the big games coming up. We'll take a look at college football coming up next. Of course, Tennessee laid another egg on Saturday night, and so the Buccaneers finish out their regular season. The Hokies get a big win. They're back in the win column. So take a look at our local teams as well. All that coming up next year live at Hardee's in Jonesborough on show number 638 of the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
At American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the things that owner Tim Smith is most proud of is their hard-earned certifications.
We are an ASE Blue Seal shop, which is important because what it tells the customer is we care enough to get certified, not in one certain area of cars. You have to be certified in 8 different certifications, in 8 different tests you have to take, and you have to be updated on them yearly to make sure that you're up to date. We not only have one of those, we have 3 ASE master technicians here. With the ratio, goes into a ratio, and we're a Blue Seal shop. So it tells you that we care about training and we care about knowing about your car. We want to help fix it right.
American Import and Auto Repair, West Market Street, Johnson City, home of the free loaner car program. Open 6 days a week. Call today, 913-3111.
Hi, I'm Rob Cole with Bays Mountain Park. There's something for everyone at Bays Mountain Park. Whether you're an outdoor enthusiast or simply looking to get away and relax, Bays Mountain Park in Kingsport, Tennessee is the perfect destination. For only $4 per vehicle, enjoy 3,500 acres of breathtaking scenery, featuring 40 miles of hiking trails, wildlife habitat, one of the Southeast's premier planetariums, and much, much more. For more information, please visit www.baysmountain.com or call us at 423-229-9447. Bays Mountain Park, one of the Tri-City's best places for learning, leisure, and recreation.
If you're catching some waves or just playing in the yard, it is important to protect yourself. You may not feel the sun's heat, but UV rays can still damage your skin even in cloudy weather. Blue Lizard Sunscreen, recommended by pharmacists and dermatologists nationwide. Our SPF 30-plus formulations use only the highest quality ingredients for broad spectrum protection. As a reminder to protect yourself, our bottle turns blue when UV light is present. Blue Lizard, we've got you covered.
Your life is always changing. You never know what shape it will take, or how your financial needs might change. But if we talk about your investments and how they can provide for you and your family, the future becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show live at Hardee's in Jonesborough. Tomorrow we'll be at Jim Klein Farmers Insurance in Kingsport. Taking Wednesday and Thursday off. Back in the saddle on Friday at Champion Chevrolet on the Bristol Motor Mile in Johnson City, where you can this month get the same discount as the GM employees. If you worked for General Motors or for Champion and you went and bought a vehicle, you got the same you get the same discount they get through the end of the month. It's only the 4th time in 11 years they've done it this way, so it is a really big savings. And they've been selling them Silverado trucks, and have also been selling a lot of Traverses over the weekend, I was told. So they've been moving the merchandise, as they say. So again, they have the Malibus and the Impalas and the Trax and the Traverses and excuse me, the Suburbans, Tahoes. They've all got them at the GM employee discount pricing through the end of the month at Champion Chevrolet in the Bristol Motor Mile in Johnson City, or go to championjc.com. College football. They're still looking for a coach at Tennessee. They still say it's John Gruden. I say that's a mistake. He's 95-81 as a head coach. He hasn't been in the college ranks since he was an assistant in either offense. I believe it was offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, Pittsburgh. Of course, went to Tampa Bay, did well there. But many say he took Tony Dungy's team and won with them. So they are looking for a coach. Everybody seems to think it's John Gruden down in Knoxville. They also seem to think Chip Kelly's going to be the new coach at Florida. That continues to be the rumblings we're hearing. And so as soon as we know, we'll let you know, of course, pass it on. Here's a coach that's pretty good, got canned over the weekend. Jim Moore, the head coach of UCLA, fired after 6 seasons. The guy went 46-30. UCLA announcing a national search will begin immediately. That former UCLA quarterback Troy Aikman will help in the search. Offensive coordinator Jed Fish will serve as interim coach for the rest of the season. There's another pretty good, that's not a marquee, that's not a bad marquee coaching job to get. UCLA in LA, it's a great recruiting base. It's on the left coast in the Pac-12, so that's not a bad job. So that's another one that may be attractive to coaches. And again, as we said, the longer Tennessee waits to close one out with their coach, more of these are going to be popping open. You got to feel like Arkansas is going to be looking for a coach soon. Auburn, at one point, I thought he was in trouble. Apparently, I think he's kind of saved his bacon. But I know Arkansas for sure. Texas A&M, that's still to be resolved, although Kevin Sumlin, these guys just picked up their 7th win. They're very much bowl eligible. They'll play LSU coming up on Saturday. So there are more and more openings coming open in college football, and it's just getting started, the coaching carousel. So Tennessee is in a hurry up and wait mode, as we've talked about on Friday. They need to hurry up and get a coach for recruiting, but they need to wait and get the right one. But the longer you wait, the more chances these other coaches will go somewhere else. So it's, again, a hurry up and wait mode. New polls out. Alabama, no question, number 1 in the country. Miami at number 2. Oklahoma number 3. Clemson ranked 4th. Wisconsin 5th. As the AP poll just came out late last night. Auburn rounds out, or I should say goes to number 6. Georgia 7th. Ohio State 8th. Notre Dame 9th. And rounding out the top 10 is TCU. So, again, your top 5. Alabama, Miami, Oklahoma, Clemson, and Wisconsin. Watch the Badgers. These guys can play. 6 through 10. Auburn, Georgia, Ohio State, Notre Dame, and TCU. Then comes 11th ranked Southern Cal, Penn State 12th, Scott Frost in Central Florida. This guy is sought after, much sought after as a head coach. And after Nebraska laid their egg over the weekend, I wouldn't be surprised he didn't go back to his alma mater. Scott Frost in Central Florida 13th, Washington State 14th, Washington 15th, Mississippi State 16th this week. Then comes Memphis, Oklahoma State, LSU, and Stanford rounding out the top 20. 21st ranked Michigan State, South Florida 22nd, Northwestern 23rd, 24th is the Hokies of Virginia Tech, and Boise State rounds out the top 25. Michigan, West Virginia, North Carolina State falls out of the top 25 from last week. So that's what's going on there. Southeastern Conference, here we go. The schedule for this week, of course, Tennessee hosting Vanderbilt in Knoxville. 2 teams that are not going anywhere this year. Both will not be bowl eligible. Got to have 6. They both have 4 wins right now. Alabama goes to Auburn to battle in the Iron Bowl. What is your name, sir? What's your first name? Dennis, and who's your lovely lady? Dennis and Beth. What are you guys eating, by the way? What do you got? You got the All-Star meal? Which one did you get? Number 4. Good for you? Going down good? Beth, what'd you get? Oh, you split it? Cool. For $5. So you're eating for $2.50 a piece. That's even better, isn't it? That's that is smart economy 101. We take 5 and split it in half. So they got one of the All-Star meals. By the way, meal number 1 is a double cheeseburger and a jumbo hot dog with a drink, fries, and a baked cookie for $5. You couldn't make it for that. Number 2 is a 3-piece hand-breaded chicken tenders with the drink, with the fries, and a cookie for $5. The double cheeseburger and onion rings, number 3, is for $5 with fries, 20-ounce drink, and a fresh baked cookie. These are all the Hardees. And number 4 is the double cheeseburger and the spicy chicken sandwich, both of those, plus the fries, plus a drink, plus a cookie for $5. You can't beat it. Southeastern Conference, again, the Iron Bowl. Alabama at Auburn. You've got Arkansas taking on Missouri. That'll be coming up on the 24th. Again, Brett Bielema probably gone as the head coach at Arkansas. They fired their athletic director, so his safety net's gone. They'll take on Missouri in Fayetteville, as we said. Florida State in Gainesville on Saturday. Again, the Gators, if they can win this, they'll be bowl eligible. They got 5 wins on the season. Florida State's got 4. They got to beat Florida and then turn around and play the remake game, Louisiana Monroe, to be bowl eligible for Jimbo Fisher and the Florida State Seminoles. Georgia takes on Georgia Tech in Atlanta for rivalry weekend. Kentucky will battle Louisville and Lexington for the bragging rights of Kentucky. LSU takes on Texas A&M in Baton Rouge. The Tigers hosting the Aggies. The Egg Bowl, Ole Miss and Mississippi State coming up in Starkville on the 23rd. Also, you have Missouri and Arkansas, as we told you. South Carolina and Clemson. This year they played in Columbia, the Gamecocks Field at Williams-Brice Stadium. That'll be coming up on Saturday. And as we said, Tennessee hosting the Vanderbilt Commodores on Saturday as well for their final game. And again, the bowl eligible, everybody in the Southeastern Conference is in. Of course, Alabama, Auburn, Georgia, Kentucky, LSU, Mississippi State, Missouri, South Carolina, Texas A&M are all bowl eligible. On the bubble, Florida with 5 wins and Ole Miss with 5 wins. And teams that aren't going anywhere this year, Vanderbilt and Tennessee. So there you go. Top 25 college football, here we go on Friday. Here's who's playing where. Number 2, Miami goes to Pittsburgh. The Miami Hurricanes trying to run the table after only his second season. The head coach for the Hurricanes and Mark Richt. 10th ranked TCU hosting Baylor on Friday, and 13th ranked Central Florida hosting South Florida. On Saturday, check these out. These are some great games. Number 7 Georgia, these are the 12 o'clock games. Number 7 Georgia, Georgia Tech. 8th ranked Ohio State at number 24. Actually, Michigan fell out. They're not ranked. 8th ranked Ohio State at Michigan in the Big House. 18th ranked Oklahoma State hosting Kansas. 17th ranked Memphis hosting East Carolina. Those are the 12 o'clock games. Excuse me. At 3:30, Alabama and Auburn in the Iron Bowl. Let me do it one more time. I like Dennis saying that. Alabama and Auburn. Go ahead. No, Beth got it that time. Roll Tide. 5th ranked Wisconsin at Minnesota at 3:30. 12th ranked Penn State at Maryland. Also at 3:30, North Carolina State and North Carolina. That's a big one in the Tar Heel State. 25th ranked Boise State goes to Fresno State. And also at 3:45, Oklahoma taking on the West Virginia Mountaineers, who will play without their quarterback Will Greer, who got hurt, which is a big blow. And of course, Baker Mayfield and the boys are making a run for, making a statement to make a run for the national championship. They'll take on the Mountaineers in Oklahoma, Boomer Sooner at 3:45 on Saturday. Also afternoon games, 21st ranked Michigan State will be at Rutgers. 23rd ranked Northwestern and Illinois. Night games on Saturday. Rivalry weekend. 4th ranked Clemson will be at South Carolina, 7:30 kickoff. 19th ranked LSU hosting Texas A&M. Also, you got 9th ranked Notre Dame at Stanford. That's going to be a good ball game right there. Notre Dame 9-2, Stanford at 8-3. Cardinal 20th ranked will play down on the left coast. And then the bragging rights of Washington State, the Cougars and the Huskies. Washington State travels to Washington this year, and they'll take on 15th ranked Washington, 8 o'clock game. And so the downside about this, all these great games are playing at the same time. You got to be fast with your remote, bouncing from station to station to check these out. For example, at 12 o'clock, you got Georgia, Georgia Tech, Ohio State, Michigan. You've got at 3:30, you've got, you only got one really. You've got Alabama and Auburn at 3:30. Then you've got night games. These, you got some good ones at night. At Clemson, South Carolina, LSU, Texas A&M, Notre Dame, Stanford. You've got Florida, Florida State coming up as well. So some great games on a rivalry weekend in college football. Of course, the Hokies, as we said, they will take on the Virginia Cavaliers in the Commonwealth Cup in Charlottesville. East Tennessee State done with their season, and Tennessee, as we said, will take on the Vanderbilt Commodores in Nashville. It's the Tom Taylor Sports Show. We thank you for being with us. We are live here again at Hardee's in Jonesborough on this Monday, November the 20th. Tomorrow will be at Champion Chevrolet. Tomorrow will be at Jim Klein Farmers Insurance. Wednesday and Thursday we're off, and then on Friday we'll be at Champion Chevrolet on the Bristol Highway Motor Mile. Quick break. We'll be right back. He just walked in. We're going to talk baseball. Our Major League Baseball update with a guy who's dressed looking good. My man, Greg Salyer. He's going to talk to us about Major League Baseball next year on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed. one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City takes care of both male and female customers, but owner Kim Smith says they have a special care and concern for ladies.
Being a female in what's considered a man's business, I understand the trepidation that women may have when they come to the shop. They feel like they don't know about cars, they might be intimidated, but that's not the way we do business. Everybody's treated the same. We take the time to explain anything that they have questions about, the repair, the process, the part. We want to make sure people are comfortable with what we're going to do to their vehicle and that they understand. We do cater to women in a sense. We have a real nice waiting room with nice Keurig coffee and flavored creamers, air-conditioned, cushioned seats, TV, everything a girl could want while she waits for her car to be fixed.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111.
It's Friday night at 7 o'clock. You've been involved in a car accident. You may be out of state on vacation or just a few miles from home. What do? Who do you call? At Farmers Insurance Group, one call is all you have to make. Hello, this is Jim Klein, an agent with Farmers Insurance. It's called One and Done. You don't have to wait till Monday morning to file a claim. You can make the initial call and we'll begin right away to help you. We assist you in moving the vehicle to a certified repair shop, getting you set up with rental car, and informing your agent. Then here at the staff at Jim Klein Farmers Insurance, we follow the claim through to the end. It's that easy. One and Done. We're your one and done location for all your insurance needs. Auto, home, life, commercial, workers' comp, and bonds. We can help you with all your insurance needs. Give me a call today, Jim Klein Farmers Insurance at 247-5400. Your one and done location in Kingsport, 247-5400.
Now available Chick-fil-A, the crossings of North Johnson City. The Hash Brown Scramble, the first breakfast bowl of Chick-fil-A. The Hash Brown Scramble, a hearty breakfast option made with Chick-fil-A's signature tot-style hash browns, scrambled eggs, a Monterey Jack and cheddar cheese blend, and a choice of sliced Chick-fil-A nuggets or sausage. Served with jalapeno salsa, the scramble can be enjoyed in a bowl or as a burrito. The Hash Brown Scramble Bowl, 30 grams of protein when made with nuggets. The bowl and burrito start at $3.49. Served until 10:30 every morning, Monday through Saturday. The Hash Brown Scramble or burrito, again at Chick-fil-A, the crossings in North Johnson City. Back with the Tom Douglas Sports Show. We are live again at Hardee's in Jonesborough. I'll tell you what, that $5 All-Star meal, you can't beat it. Let me run down for it one more time again because it is going good here. The drive-thru's been very steady here this morning, but here's the $5 All-Star meals. I noticed a lot of guys come in and eat, a lot of construction workers and just a lot of midday working folks coming in and get lunch. There's 4 All-Star meals. They all come with a small fry, a 20-ounce drink, and a fresh baked cookie. I mean, you really can't beat it. If you sit down and try to make a double cheeseburger and a jumbo hot dog and some fries and some cookies and a drink for $5, you couldn't do it. You can do it every day at any Hardee's location here in the Tri-Cities. That's number 1. The number 2 meal, 3-piece hand-breaded chicken tenders. The number 3 meal, the double cheeseburger and onion rings. And the number 4 meal is the double cheeseburger and spicy chicken sandwich. So any of those will roll. And then the breakfast, it's the Frisco breakfast sandwich. Say that fast 3 times. Ham or sausage or bacon is the main meat. You get 2 slices of American or Swiss cheese, an egg on sourdough bread, and the price point is about $7 or $8. Nope, $3.49. I mean, you really can't beat it. And so that's what's going on again at all Hardee's locations every morning. The Frisco breakfast sandwich, and again the $5 All-Star meals every day at all Hardee's locations across the Tri-Cities. We're at Hardee's in Jonesborough this month, and we're going to a different Hardee's. We're here because coming up right down the road tonight is the 28th annual Hardee's Basketball Classic starting tonight. 4 big games. That would be a quadruple header. You liked that, didn't you?
Yeah. Yeah.
I saw his eyebrows go, whoa.
Yeah.
He knows. He's talking fancy talk. Quadruple header. At 4 o'clock, Volunteer and Chuck Babb, who's a great Christian coach, great Christian guy, and the Happy Valley Warriors at 4 o'clock. At 5:30, the old Civil War, Sullivan North and Sullivan South. At 7 o'clock, this one may be a dandy. I think it will be a dandy. Crockett and Unicoi County. I'm going to make a prediction. Whoever wins that game, one of those teams will be in the finals of the Hardee's Classic because these guys can play. Crockett and Unicoi County. Trevor Hensley, kid had 31 last week against Volunteer. He is rapidly approaching the all-time leading scorer in the history of Unicoi County High School. A lot of D1 teams are looking for him and looking at him. And so Unicoi County plays Crockett tonight at 7 o'clock. And Daniel Boone's out of the gate with a good start. Chris Brown, Coach Chris Brown and the Trailblazers, they'll play Northview Academy tonight at 8:30. So the tournament is tonight, tomorrow, Wednesday and Thursday, off for the holidays, back on Friday, back on Saturday. We'll be there to broadcast the semifinals on Friday night at 7 and 8:30. We'll be there also to bring you here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show Facebook page the consolation and championship game on Saturday at 7 and 8:30. Being joined by my dear friend, and this guy's forgot more basketball. He's written books on basketball offenses. Clark Powers from King Sports going to be, Coach Powers going to be my color commentator. Looking forward to that coming up again Friday and Saturday. So that's everything going on at Hardee's. And I don't know, I can't decide which one. I'm going to get one of those when I get out of here. I'm either going to get the double cheeseburger and a jumbo hot dog, which is a lot of food, with fries, a cookie, and a drink for $5, or the 3-piece hand breaded chicken tender. And then Shannon gets mad if I don't get a milkshake. Their hand scoop, and she says, "You gotta have a milkshake." She's, by the way, Shannon right now, the queen of Hardee's, as we call her, and she wears that proudly. She is, I'd love to be a camera. If I wasn't here, I'd be wherever she is, facilitating a Thanksgiving dinner with, what is it, pre-K? She a kindergartner, the little one, her daughter? Kindergarten. Shannon at a kindergarten Thanksgiving dinner. I mean, it just has the Three Stooges written all over it, because I can just see her, because she is funny. Whatever she does, she's hilarious. So anyway, she won't be here today because she is being mama, and we totally understand that. Greg Salyer is here, my man talking Major League Baseball. How you doing, big dog?
Hey, Tom, I'm great. How are you?
Look at this guy. Wendy got him dressed up. He is sharp-looking dressed today now. This man has got a sharp dress thing going on like ZZ Top, and got his vest and his corduroy jacket.
The vest is a Reds vest, by the way. I don't know if you noticed that.
No, I didn't.
Maybe I'm not as sharp now
no.
as I was.
Nah, but hey, I'll say this. You and I were right last week when we talked about Joey Votto. Now, see, I know he's bummed out because if I'm going to lose, I'd rather lose by 500 points. Votto missed being the MVP by 2 points or 2 votes from being the MVP. Stanton got it. We're going to talk about him in a moment, but Votto did what he did on a dog baseball team, and everybody else thought he did a great job too because he only missed by 2 votes. I don't know who those 2 people were, but I'd like to put him in a headlock and I'd like to see Votto win.
Yeah, Votto and Stanton both got 10 first-place votes, so they tied in that. It came down to like 3rd and 4th place votes is really the difference between the 2 of them. And some of these voters, I saw some of the ballots that they released, and you just think, okay, so some guys had some great years, but when you list Joey Votto as like 5th or 6th on your ballot, and you got Charlie Blackmon winning it, and one guy had Blackmon winning it and Arenado 2nd. I mean, 2 guys from the same team. One of those guys is not going to be the MVP of his team.
Exactly.
I mean, so come on
now.
Yeah. But to be honest, I'm more bummed out that Joey Votto didn't get a Silver Slugger than I am that he didn't get the MVP. Stanton, I picked it. I told you a couple weeks ago who was going to be the MVPs. I got them both right. I thought that would be the case. But, if you look at the numbers, Votto led the league in almost every offensive category. I mean, not the big ones per se, but the small categories. If you look at it, he led the league in most of them. So it kind of disappointed me that the guy that's leading the league in almost everything doesn't get the Silver Slugger. So that surprised me more so, I think, than the MVP.
Talking to Greg Salyer, the Major League Baseball update coming up in just a few minutes. We'll go live to Northern Virginia. My man Mike Hiddick's he's going to glow talking about picking. He picked all 3 winners in NASCAR. He picked the Camping World Truck Series guy on Friday. He said, Tom, Christopher Bell's going to win that. I said, no, He did. Saturday, he said, Tom, William Byron's going to win the Xfinity Series. I said, no, don't think so. I picked Elliott Sadler. He did. And then yesterday, of course, I went with my man Kyle Busch, who almost won that thing. He was on his back bumper, tracked him down, but he didn't win. Mike Hedrick predicted, Tom, Martin Truex Jr. is going to win the race on Sunday. I said, no, he's not. He said, yes, he is. He did. So Hedrick's 3-0. I'm 0 for 3, and we'll talk to him coming up here in a few minutes. So, we'll start with Mr. Stanton. The sweepstakes have heated up since we last talked. Red Sox, Cardinals, Giants, everybody's wanting this guy. Marlins said they may sit down and talk to him, but it's pretty much a foregone conclusion he's gone out of Miami. So where do you think Stanton will land with his 59 home runs?
Yeah, Stanton is going to require a lot. He's got quite a contract, almost $300 million left to pay him on that big contract that he signed a few years ago. And so it's going to take a team that can afford him to do that. He has said he would like to play on the West Coast. And even named the Dodgers as perhaps a team that he would like to play for. Could the Dodgers go out and get him? Absolutely. The only thing they have to do is they got to remember that they still got to pay Clayton Kershaw as well. So they've got to think about that when they go out there into that sweepstakes. But I think the Marlins are going to trade him, but I think they're going to require a lot. And from my understanding, they are really looking for young pitching. So who has the young pitching? Well, the Cardinals. Yeah. They definitely have a package they could put together. They've already made an inquiry with the Marlins, and who knows who's offered what at this point. But I've heard that the Cardinals and the Giants have both said, yeah, we'll give you this for Stanton. The Cardinals could offer maybe 3 really good, solid young pitchers in return, and maybe another player as well, an outfielder that's already major league capable. And that might be enough to blow the Marlins away. Now, here's the interesting thing, though. Stanton has to approve any of these trades.
Yes.
That's in his contract. So if he doesn't want to play in the Midwest, he's not going to play in the Midwest. What it comes down to is who does he want to play for, and who can offer the Marlins what they think they should get in return.
I don't see Stanton going to the Giants at all. I just don't. I mean, they may open up the checkbook, but, I mean, this is a team that's woefully underachieved last year. They are in a rebuilding mode, and I'm not sure this guy wants to go someplace where they're going to build around him. I think he wants to go in where he can go into the Dodgers, instant compliment to that team, the Cardinals, maybe the Red Sox, but I just don't see him going to San Francisco, although they made the first play for him. Cardinals became the second team that said, we want to sit down and open up a checkbook and let's go with this guy. So, of course, that's not what you want to hear as a Reds fan in the Central Division. But anyway, that's
if the Cardinals get Stanton and they don't give up too much pitching, they've won the division next year. I mean, it's that simple.
So then you take that's the very latest on Stanton. Then you look at Carlos Beltran stepping away from the game. Is this guy a Hall of Famer?
In my mind, he is.
Right.
I think there'll be some question there because of his overall numbers. I think some people say they're not good enough. I think they're very comparable to a lot of guys that are already in. Some of the voters probably will not vote for him for one reason or another. What was it? 2 guys didn't vote for King Griffey Jr. That is just laughable to me.
This is what I would like to see, who these guys are that voting, and why do they? I mean, is there a application process? Do they say you're a warm body and you're in? I mean, who says these guys can vote? Because some of these guys are knuckleheads. They make some really dumb decisions. How could you not vote in King Griffey Jr.? 2 guys said no a couple of years ago to the Hall of Fame on the first ballot. So.
These are the guys who are the baseball writers. They're the writers who are in the newspaper baseball writers who are in the major league cities who have been a member of the Baseball Writers of America Association for 10 years or longer. That's who gets a vote. And some guys turn in a blank ballot every year just to keep from somebody getting a unanimous choice. King Griffey Jr. still has the highest percentage. He passed Tom Seaver for that, but
if you're going to turn in a blank ballot, then step away and let somebody that wants to do it.
Yeah.
Beltran, 435 home runs, 27-25 in the hit department. This guy was 3 Gold Gloves, 2 Silver Slugger awards, as well as the 1999 Rookie of the Year award. Also partook in 9 All-Star games, one of 5 players to homer more than 400 times and steal more than 300 bases. The others being Barry Bonds, Alex Rodriguez, Willie Mays, and Andre Dawson, the Hawks. So, I mean, it's pretty good company. 435 home runs, 2,725 hits, and we don't know if he's going to get in or not. So, I think he's in, but I mean, I think he's earned a way to be in. But
yeah, he should be. He should be. Like I said, his numbers are comparable. We'll just have to wait and see in 5 years and see what the voters decide to do.
Jeff Birchfield joins us coming up a little bit later on from the Johnson City Press, talking NASCAR and college football. It's a rivalry weekend. It's big, as Andy told, or as Barney told Andy. Andy, it's big, 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 big. It's big. It's a big weekend in college football. The Braves continue to shake up their front office. What's the very latest down in Atlanta?
Yeah, the Braves have a new general manager. Alex Anthopoulos is their new general manager.
What a sweetheart.
Yeah, look at that.
Aren't you a sweetheart? Yes, ma'am, please. What is your first name? I can't see your tag. Lori? Look, Lori, you're a sweetheart. Thank you,
Lori is taking care of me, that's for sure.
Please, ma'am. Thank you. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I was wanting to give credit where credit's due. She's a sweetie.
Absolutely.
So the Braves making some front office moves?
So the Braves have made some moves. You know, they felt like they had to make a move there. Well, they had to, as far as letting go Capolella. I can't hardly say his name. I don't know where they get these guys, Capolella and Anthopoulos, but
thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, so they had to make a move there just because of some decisions he had made with international amateur dealings, some things that some people thought were a little bit questionable. And they needed to do something there, so they did, and they went out and got a guy with some experience, So, I'm anxious to see what he does. He's a guy that's got some American League ties, and we'll see what he does as far as putting the Braves team together for 2018.
This is a big Braves country. In your humble opinion, 2018, grade the Braves out going into the season. A, B, C, or D right now. They still rebuilding?
Yeah, I think they'll make some moves. I think we'll see them do something. I think pitching wise they have to. They've got some good young players. They've got some guys who they can build around offensively. So let's see what they do on the pitching front. And they tried to go old school last year. Dickey and Colon and some of the older guys. I don't see them doing that this year. I think they'll maybe go for some of the young studs to put in that rotation, and I think they'll be better in 2018 definitely than they were in 2017. Of course, healthy Freddie Freeman's going to go a long ways in that as well. Absolutely.
We're live here at Hardee's in Jonesborough, show number 638. They said it wouldn't last, and we've been rolling along here for 2.5 going on 3 years in February, and tomorrow we'll be at Jim Klein Farmers Insurance in Kingsport. Friday will be at Champion Chevrolet. We're there every week. They build us a studio inside the showroom, so we're talking sports every day except Wednesday and Thursday. We'll take a little downtime for the holidays, and then probably going to take the week off after Christmas, kind of disappear for 4 or 5 days and recharge the battery, but we're here tomorrow for sure. Rob Manfred, Commissioner of Major League Baseball, says he wants to expand, but not until Tampa Bay and Oakland have new stadiums. The A's and the Raiders have been going back and forth. Apparently it's a dump out there where the Raiders and the A's play, and so they want a new stadium, or he wants a new stadium in Oakland for the Athletics and also in Tampa Bay for the Rays. But then he says he wants to expand and maybe go to Montreal, and he says they got to have a new ballpark too. They didn't draw well when they were up there before. The Expos in Olympic Stadium, the place is you would watch it on TV and it'd be like the place was cavernous. There was nobody there, so they had a couple of then they played a couple of exhibition games up here to kind of test the waters, and had a pretty good turnout. But 2 games ain't 80-some games?
Yeah, that's not 81 games a year. That's for sure. So does Tampa and Oakland, do they need new stadiums? Yeah, they do. Mm-hmm. Let's face it. Tampa Bay is playing in just a big indoor, I don't know what you call it. But it's not a ballpark. No, that's for sure. It wasn't built to be a ballpark. I don't think.
You're right. That was not its intent.
And Oakland, their stadium's just old, and they probably need something new.
We're talking to Greg Salyer, our Major League Baseball guy. He's going to go right on through the off season because really, between now, the winter meetings just finished up, and there's a lot of what they call the hot stove league, a lot of happenings, a lot of free agents out there, a lot of movement in the off season. Teams take a look at their needs and trying to shore up their teams and signing and releasing. And I know the Mariners have not really done big names, but they have moved 3 trades in 4 days for the Mariners, so everybody's trying to make some moves. One team still needs a manager, the New York Yankees. They have interviewed third base coach Chris Woodward from the Los Angeles Dodgers for the managerial job. Why are we taking so long to get us a manager in New York? Are they just taking their time, or nobody wants it because they're in a media hotbed, or what's the reason you think?
I don't think it's that nobody wants it. I think they're trying to find the guy that can deal with the media in New York and deal with the players that they have there and that they will have. The names are interesting, Chris Woodward. That name intrigues me. I'd like to see him have a chance to manage. I don't know that New York's a good place to get your start, but he definitely deserves a chance. Aaron Boone's a name that's been thrown out there that I think they've interviewed, and of course a hero in New York because of some October things that he did there while he was playing for the Yankees. I'd like to see Bam Bam Mullins. He has been interviewed, I think, as well. A guy named Bam Bam. That's just
got to be fun.
Yeah. I remember him playing. Do you remember him back in the late 80s, early 90s, I guess it was?
When a grown man has the nickname Bam Bam and he keeps it, you got to know he's a special kind of guy. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, his name's Hensley, Hensley Mullins. So.
But they call him Bam Bam.
Yeah.
And he likes that. So, most people get nicknames as they grow up. It kind of goes away as a kid. But he's hanging with Bam Bam, so he's probably...
Well,
for an interesting bird.
For a ball player, that's not a bad name.
Oh, no,
little Bam Bam on the Flintstones had that big old club that he swung a lot.
There you go.
If I could swing it like that little kid, I'd want that name too.
What was Bam Bam's buddy's name, the girl?
Pebbles.
Pebbles, you got it.
Yeah.
Pebbles Bam Bam.
Yeah.
You got it. We're talking to Greg Zallier. And so we got Mike Hedrick coming up here in just a few minutes talking NASCAR, and then Jeff Birchfield. So what else you got for us?
All right, well, it's going to be interesting to see which team goes out and signs a free agent first. That's always the big thing. Who's going to go out first? Who's going to step out, make that first move? Which free agent is going to be the first one to do it? Because that's going to set the standard for a lot of these other guys, and how much they're going to get on the open market as well. So, who's looking for what, I think, at this point? Well, there's some pitchers available on the free agent market that I think is going to be interesting to look at this year. Of course, leading the way maybe Jake Arrieta. Lance Lynn is out there as well. And let's see, who else? Yu Darvish, Alex Cobb. These are guys that are out there for the taking at this point. I think somebody will really step up and do something. And Cobb is the guy that kind of interests me a lot because Lynn, Arrieta, and Darvish, they all have the same agent who is known for waiting late into the off season, Scott Boras. He's an interesting bird the way he does things, and it seems like he calls all the shots. So I imagine that a lot of teams are going to reach out to Alex Cobb because he's not his agent. So I think they're going to think he's going to be easier to sign, and a lot of teams are going to look to him and say, hey, let's go after Cobb and sign him maybe first in this whole thing, and then let the other guys deal with the other ones. But I mean, which team out there doesn't need pitching? Every team, all 30 teams are looking for starting pitching.
Well, it's interesting. The Twins, who made that big turnaround, Paul Molitor, did he get named manager of the year?
He did.
He did, for the Twins.
Yeah.
Who's a huge Christian. I was reading some of the stuff about him last night, and this guy's all about the Lord, which I'm all about. And so he took this team from nowhere, 100 losses 2 years ago, or a year before last year in the wild card with the Yankees. So anyway, they have said they're going to go actively after Yu Darvish and or Jake Arrieta. And so if you get one of those guys in there, I saw with the Twins locally, Elizabethton's been picked up by Boyd Sports, the same team same group that runs the Cardinals. They're going to take over the Elizabethton Twins, so that will prove to be very successful, I think, except I heard they're going to have a beer garden, which that didn't do anything for me because I think that's one of the last teams that was not serving alcohol at the ballpark. So the Elizabethton Twins, of according to what I read last week in the paper, going to be selling beer next year. So that's kind of a downer for me. But Twins out there chasing some of the big guys because they want to continue to improve, and you, Darvish, and Jake Arrieta would help your ball club immensely immediately, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you think about their pitching last year, they didn't have the big names. I mean, their guys performed, but they didn't have the big names. So if they can get one, and you said they're looking at two of those guys, if they can get just one of those four guys that we were talking about there just a minute ago, look for them to win that division.
There you go. What do you want to leave us with, my friend?
Well, I brought something to show you.
Oh.
I got to do this. You know, I was gone last week.
Yes.
And I come back, and I have this big box on my desk. And I'm thinking, okay, what did I get?
Mm-hmm.
And I pick it up, and it weighs nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then I open it, and this box is inside the big box.
Mm.
So it's from the North American Mission Board,
Mm-hmm.
Southern Baptist Convention. And I opened this box, and I was totally shocked at what the North American Mission Board sent me. A Reds hat, but look at the back. Look on the back. With the NAM
North American Mission Board
logo.
Well, that's pretty cool. Look at that. That's cool.
They sent that to me because Southwestern Baptist Church sponsors a church plant in Cincinnati. So they sent the pastors of the churches that are sponsoring these church plants a cap,
a ball cap,
a ball cap from the city in which they sponsor the church. I thought that was really cool, especially since mine was a Reds cap. You know.
Oh yeah. Well, they knew exactly to get that Reds cap for. So you get your Reds vest on and a Reds ball cap.
Yeah. So
you were a happy camper.
Yeah, and I have a nice box to keep my Reds cap in. So I'm going to hang on to that. That just thrilled me to death when I opened it. I mean, I thought of 1,000 things that could have been in this box before I thought of a Reds
cap.
Yeah.
So you get one of those clear plastic and put it up so you can put it up on top and
yeah,
get dusty.
Yeah, I might do that.
There you go.
David told me I should wear it today on your show. He said, you should just put that thing on and
wear
it.
You
should have.
But he didn't, and that's okay.
So I wanted to do a big reveal.
That was cool.
So I thought that was really neat.
I did too. The North American Mission Board tying into the Reds because he's planned to sponsor a church plant in the Queen City of Cincinnati, Ohio. Hungry?
Oh, absolutely.
Get yourself something to eat.
Yeah.
See you next week.
I'm going for that number one.
Yeah. That's a lot of food for $5.
That is a lot of food.
A double cheese, jumbo hot dog, fries, drink, and a cookie for $5. Can't beat it.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. It's the all-star meal. See you next week.
Yes, sir.
All right. Good job as always. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back. And as promised, we'll go to Northern Virginia, talk NASCAR with my man Mike Hedrick next year on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City takes care of both male and female customers, but owner Kim Smith says they have a special care and concern for ladies.
Being a female in what's considered a man's business, I understand the trepidation that women may have when they come to the shop. They feel like they don't know about cars, they might be intimidated, but that's not the way we do business. Everybody's treated the same. We take the time to explain anything that they have questions about, the repair, the process, the part. We want to make sure people are comfortable with what we're going to do to their vehicle and that they understand. We do cater to women in a sense. We have a real nice waiting room with nice Keurig coffee and flavored creamers, air-conditioned, cushioned seats, TV, everything a girl could want while she waits for her car to be fixed.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111.
It's Friday night at 7 o'clock. You've been involved in a car accident. You may be out of state on vacation or just a few miles from home. What do? Who do you call? At Farmers Insurance Group, One call is all you have to make. Hello, this is Jim Klein, an agent with Farmers Insurance. It's called One and Done. You don't have to wait till Monday morning to file a claim. You can make the initial call and we'll begin right away to help you. We assist you in moving the vehicle to a certified repair shop, getting you set up with rental car, and informing your agent. Then here at the staff at Jim Klein Farmers Insurance, we follow the claim through to the end. It's that easy. One and Done. We're your one and done location for all your insurance needs. Auto, home, life, commercial, workers' comp, and bonds. We can help you with all your insurance needs. Give me a call today, Jim Klein Farmers Insurance at 247-5400, your one and done location in Kingsport, 247-5400.
Now available at Chick-fil-A, the crossings of North Johnson City. The Hash Brown Scramble, the first breakfast bowl with Chick-fil-A. The Hash Brown Scramble, a hearty breakfast option made with Chick-fil-A's signature tot-style hash browns, scrambled eggs, a Monterey Jack and cheddar cheese blend, and a choice of sliced Chick-fil-A nuggets or sausage. Served with jalapeno salsa, the scramble can be enjoyed in a bowl or as a burrito. The Hash Brown Scramble Bowl, 30 grams of protein when made with nuggets. The bowl and burrito start at $3.49. Served until 10:30 every morning, Monday through Saturday. The Hash Brown Scramble or burrito, again at Chick-fil-A, the crossings in North Johnson City. Back with the Tom Taylor Sports Show. We're live at Hardee's in Jonesborough. Let's go to Northern Virginia. He's there on the phone. You see on the screen Mike Hedrick, the NASCAR fans reporter. Good afternoon, sir. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. You guys are making me hungry. Normally, when you're at Champion Chevy or something like that, or even at Food City, I'm okay. But right now, all I'm thinking about is that number 4 of the $5 All Stars. I'm thinking about that double cheeseburger and that spicy chicken. And the cookie fries, and I'm going with the sweet tea. But yeah, and I'm starving, Tom.
Well, I think I'm gonna get the double cheeseburger and jumbo hot dog. That's the number 1 with fries and a drink and a cookie. You can't make it for that. So there's 4 all-star meals to choose from, and of course at all Hardee's locations. We're at Hardee's in Jonesborough, again the oldest town in Tennessee. We're here because tonight starts the Hardee's Basketball Classic, the 28th annual. It's a quadruple hitter. 4 o'clock, Volunteer, Happy Valley. 5:30, North-South, the Battle of the Civil War, if you will. At 7 o'clock, that's the marquee game, Crockett and Unicoi County. That's 2 good ones there. And the nightcap, Daniel Boone and Northview having a good start for Chris Brown and the Boone Trailblazers. So all 4 teams, all 4 games today. They'll play tomorrow. Jeff County and Morristown East are in the tournament. And then they'll take a break on Wednesday and Thursday. We will broadcast the semifinals and the finals on semifinals on Friday night. And on Saturday, the consolation of the championship, be joined by Clark Powers. It'd be good to get behind the microphone, call a play-by-play. Haven't done it for a year or two, so I may say 1st and 10 when he makes a shot, but we'll give it a whirl. A ground ball to shortstop or something, so we're looking forward to it. We want to talk NASCAR. Goodness gracious, sakes alive. How about it? The man who should have won, in my humble opinion, although I wanted my guy Kyle Busch to win it, but honest to Pete, the one who should have won did. Martin Truex Jr. caps off a great season for this young man. Tell us about it.
You know what? They were out there for the EcoBoost 400. Hey, and I know we said on the show just a little bit ago that I was 3 for 3, but like I said during the break, I know that Jesus listens to the show, and I want to be honest. I actually had picked Kevin Harvick.
Yes, you did.
So I wound up being 2 out of 3. So that's pretty good. But you know what? This is one of the easier races to talk about because the race winner and the series champion was the same guy, Martin Truex Jr. in that number 78 Furniture Road Toyota. Wow, what an amazing season. That's his 8th win for the year. That's his first at Miami, but his 15th in his career. It was just a storybook night. Although, Kyle Larson had been the Rocket Man. He had won both the first stage and the second stage. And really, I like how Kyle Larson has held back on trying to get in between Kyle Busch and Truex at the very end of the race. I thought that was incredibly mature of the young man. He could have got up there and been right in the mix. He stayed out of the way. He let them guys race. It was great. Truex was a fan favorite for sure. He had an amazing year. He had the race wins. He had the most stage wins. He had the points. So it was just fantastic. I got to say, on the broadcast, I'm not a big fan of NBC and Chris Devoto. Sometimes I think that they twisted Truex's emotions to try to get the tiers and the ratings. But, I mean, it's a blessed story, him and Sherry Pollock, the way that they've gone through everything. But it would have been nice to just let them celebrate, and what a great thing that they did have to celebrate. Everybody came over and cheered him on, congratulated him. Dale Jr. in Victory Lane. I mean, he's a great guy, and he's going to make, for this year here, he's going to make a great champion. I think it's the story of the year. I think so many people picked him, and it's just, that was good for the sport. It really was good for the sport.
I thought so too. Now, going forward, again, we're talking to Mike Hedrick, the NASCAR fans reporter, joins us every week. And so going forward, NASCAR needs some new faces. As you know, stepping away is Dale Jr., everybody knows that by now. Of course, Danica Patrick's gone. You also have Matt Kenseth gone. Can Martin Truex Jr. be one of those guys to fill the void, along with the Chase Elliott's and some of these other guys going forward? Is Truex the kind of guy that folks can get behind and follow because of what happened, because of the way he drives?
I think he's going to need to be. I think a lot of drivers, like we talked about Friday on the show, there's about 31 drivers in the history of NASCAR that have championships, but only 15 of them have had multiple championships. Now, I'm going to have to crunch my numbers before Friday's show, but I think it's only Jimmy Johnson that has multiple. You've got a lot of guys that have one championship, Kyle Busch, a Truex now, Kevin Harvick, Brad Keselowski. A lot of guys have one. You know what? I think the legacy starts when you have multiple championships. So I think you're going to see people like Martin Truex and your Kyle Busch really try to step up and to show that they can do more than just have that one championship. And there are great drivers that are coming up, but there's a huge void. And like you just said, we have three or so that are coming out just this year here. But recently we just lost. We also, just out of the sport, is Carl Edwards, Jeff Gordon, and Tony Stewart. So you add those three names to the other 4 or 5 right there, and that's a lot of big names that are not just drivers in the sport, but they actually held a good amount of fan base, and we want to make sure that those, or we'd like to see, if you were a fan of Tony Stewart, you transitioned over, and now you're cheering for, your Harvick or your Clint Boyer or something like that, and not just leaving the sport. But yeah, there's a lot, and good reason to stay is there's a lot of young drivers that are coming in, and they've shown that they can be great drivers from the get-go. Your Suarez, that Jones boy. You've got Kyle Larson's proven it, and even Chase Elliott doesn't got the win, but he's been a great for the sport as a young man, and he's proven that he's going to be a winner in the sport.
We're talking to Mike Hedrick, the NASCAR fans reporter. So William Byron wins the Xfinity Series. Christopher Bell gets the Camping World Truck Series. Martin Truex Jr. wins the Cup, of course. Awards, give us what's up next now for NASCAR.
Well, they all head back out to Las Vegas. They're going to be out there for championship week. I think all the stuff is from Tuesday until like Friday or Saturday of next week. And I think they do the traditional thing where all the cars, or the championship cars, come and do the burnouts down Las Vegas Boulevard. So that'll be great. And it'll just be great for these guys to relax, see each other one more good time here before their off-season starts, and really to celebrate these real champions in the sport. I mean, not just Martin Truex Jr., but like you said, the William Byron. I mean, what a fantastic job that young man did for the junior motorsports, and him heading up to Rick Hendricks and Hendricks Motorsports next year. I mean, he's a fine young man. Christopher Bell with that Truck Series championship. We know he's heading to Joe Gibbs Racing next year. So there's just a lot to celebrate, I think. And also we should just go ahead and bravo, raise your sparkling lemonade or whatever you want, to NASCAR. I think that NASCAR did a fantastic job this year of putting the stages in there that mixed everything up, to putting the playoff structure in there that really helped out, and by dropping really some of the downforce out of the cars that made them have to race each other a little bit. So I think there's a lot to celebrate. We've got 3 champions. Bravo to NASCAR itself, and bravo to Monster. Came in there. That trophy that they had last night, that Monster Cup trophy, that thing was amazing. 67 pounds. I'm glad they didn't try to make me lift it over top of my head. And it was great. Maybe it's because of teamwork, because Martin Truex needed his crew chief, Cole Pern, to help him lift it. And that teamwork, that team lifted themselves up. Every one of them, Bernie Visser in the hospital, but all that they've been through, that team lifted themselves up, and they hoisted that championship that's well-deserved.
I'm looking on the calendar. It won't be long if I'm ciphering right. And my buddy Jeff Birchfield's trying to help me here. The Daytona 500 is on February the 18th, so I'm looking ciphering here, 92 days away from the Daytona 500, something like that. So it's really not that far away. The awards ceremony comes up, the awards dinner, the banquet, and then they'll turn right around and, of course, lay low for a couple of weeks for the holidays, obviously, and then come right back and start a lot of sponsor commitments, a lot of pictures, commercials being run. Jeff said 89 days. He said, so that's my West Virginia math coming out there. It's 89 days of the Daytona 500. But really and truly, Mike, it's not, you save some downtime, but these guys get away for a couple of weeks or 2-3 weeks, and then they're right back at it. I guess they're going to have postseason meetings and all the headquarters and all the talking going on and getting ready for the new year. So it's really a downtime, but it really isn't a downtime, is it?
It really isn't, and it's for the drivers, the teams, the sponsors. I mean, even a guy like myself, this is actually my downtime. I finished up all my NASCAR and public speaking responsibilities for the year. I finished up all my big catering jobs for the year, and so I actually got a little time that now I'm going to be able to sit down and try to plan out what I'd like to do to try to in the 2018 year and see what I can get going. But it's the same thing with them. There's just so much to do that there's really not time to really take much time off. I mean, a week or two here and there and go through your holidays. But even at that, they're going to be back practicing at the very first part of January. We're probably still going to hear some of these deals that need to be made. I mean, we're waiting to hear about Kurt Busch still. Something's got to happen with that. And hey, we did hear one deal. The Goodyear tire this last weekend finally did sign. We knew that they would be. They signed a new deal with NASCAR to stay the official tire of NASCAR. Now, a couple of things that I learned about this as I was kind of reading up on this. They've been one of the uninterrupted partners since 1954 and the exclusive tire provider for all three series of NASCAR since 97. The one thing I thought was really neat, all the NASCAR tires are made in the factory at Akron, Ohio, which is where their headquarters at. And every one of the NASCAR tires, somewhere on it, has the name of an employee that works for Goodyear that actually worked on that set of tires. So that's kind of amazing that it's as big as it is, it's still personal, and those people still feel like they have the touch and the. And I think that adds some pride. When you put your name on something, sure. There's a lot of pride in that. So bravo to Goodyear for staying in there. We love them with NASCAR, the longest sponsorship of really almost any kind of sports that are out there. We love the tires, and it's kind of cool that it's a people company, and that guy puts his name on that tire.
Absolutely, just like this show. As my dad used to say, every day is your resume. So you got to put your best foot forward every day, whatever you're doing, whether you're making tires or cooking barbecue like you do, or doing shows or whatever. So yeah, good point. On the screen it says right here, it says give thanks, and wrapping this thing up, Mike, I know you and I are of the faith, and we have lots to be thankful for. The Lord, of course, died on the cross for us. That's the most important thing. But we have lots to be thankful for in 2017 for the Thanksgiving season.
And we sure do. Hey, and on one more note, on Dale Jr. Being his last race, one of the things that I've always been fascinated in is Darrell Waltrip's wife, Stevie Waltrip. Now, Darrell wasn't always a Christian, and he was about halfway through his racing career. He became a Christian, and his wife, Stevie, was a Christian. Well, she started writing Bible verses that she would put on his dash at the beginning of every race. Well, his good friend Dale Earnhardt Sr. saw that she was putting these Bible verses on Waltrip's dash, and he said, well, where is mine? The very next weekend, Mrs. Stevie Waltrip had Bible verses on index cards for Darrell Waltrip's dash and then for Dale Sr.'s dash. When Junior started getting into racing, he asked that Stevie would bring him Bible verses. Well, yesterday was the very last Bible verse that Stevie Waltrip left for Dale Jr., and I just want to go ahead and read to you what it is. Mm-hmm. It comes out of Jeremiah 29:11 through 13, and he says, "For I know your plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you, not to harm you, plans to give you good hope and a future. Then you will call on me, come to pray to me, and I will listen to you. You will seek me, and you will find me with all of your heart." And she went on to say that it's been a blessing and an honor to have given you and a privilege to be sharing these scriptures with you, Darrell, and your daddy in these last 17 years. She went on to say, I love you so much. God's blessing to you, Amy, and baby E. So that's just another wonderful story out there. God is in all of our lives. whether we acknowledge him or not. And it's just wonderful to see people that share their faith with each other in the sport. There's a lot that goes on in there. And then that they were able to share that actually out here with us, because we know wherever the good Lord's word goes, it never comes back void. It always does wonderful things for him. And what a blessing just to have that and her words that can hopefully inspire all of us.
You got it. Well put, my friend. Great report. I'll talk to you Friday. We'll kind of rehash and get ready for what's coming up next in NASCAR. So, hey, happy Thanksgiving to you and Michelle and your family, and we'll talk to you on Friday, all right?
Hey, happy Thanksgiving, and God bless everybody real good.
You got it. Taters. Screen taters. There we go. Our buddy Mike Edrick again with us. NASCAR's Fans Reporter here as we're live here again, as we said, on the road at Hardee's in Jonesborough. And we appreciate that very much. Let's get him in here. He's ready. He's got his headsets on, and boom, Jeff Birchfield from the Johnson City Press joins us as we go from NASCAR in Northern Virginia. Where is it? There he is. In Northern Virginia to my man right here who follows NASCAR for the Johnson City Press. And so I know you're over on your phone working, but let's talk about it from your vantage point. Martin Truex Jr. brings home the bacon and the brass ring, and a big win, and a deserving win for him.
A deserving win for him. He killed I was going to go 3 for 3. I picked Bell to win the trucks and Byron to win the Xfinity, and I'd pick Kyle Busch, but come up just short. But Martin Truex Jr. probably the most dominant season in NASCAR. I know Jimmy Johnson's had a couple of years where he's had more wins, but if you look at how that car performed, that's probably the most dominant season in NASCAR since Jeff Gordon won the 13 races back in 1998. Just the way that team performed from start to finish. Well,
again, he brought home eight checkered flags, including 4 in the playoffs. Again, he wins the first championship, and he wins it with a small team. I mean, this is the David and Goliath, if you will. The little guys beat the big guys as a single car operation.
In one sense it is, but I mean they do get technical support from Joe Gibbs Racing, so it's not quite the same as back in Alan Kulwicki day. But that being said, interestingly enough, my column tomorrow, I was actually writing it this morning, was about comparing the 2017 championship of Martin Truex Jr.'s team to the Alan Kulwicki championship in '92. Race had a lot of similarities. That was the last race back then for Richard Petty. Of course, yesterday's last race for Dale Earnhardt Jr. The 24 car was first race ever for Jeff Gordon. And even though he wasn't in the race yesterday, of course, we've mentioned William Byron. He's going to be in the 24 car next year. He had a big weekend down there in Miami.
So I got to ask you the same question I asked Mike just a few minutes ago. Is Truex the guy that you can kind of get behind next year? I know, he's got a Bass Pro Shop sponsorship, which really appeals to the outdoors people, and NASCAR and kind of outdoors and Bass Pro Shop is kind of a win-win. I know when he comes to Bristol and does some promotional things at Bass Pro Shop here in the area, a lot of fans turn out for him. So is he a guy you can get behind, given the fact you're losing Danica and, of course, Dale Jr. and Kenseth and Carl Edwards not coming back, at least not right now? Is he a guy who can get a fan base going?
I think he can get a fan base going. He's probably not the level of a Dale Jr. guy, but he could definitely, like a Kenseth or a Carl Edwards. And a lot of people respect him, just the way he's stood behind his girlfriend, Sherry. She's been battling ovarian cancer, and just really a good guy. And he's blue-collar roots. He grew up working on the fishing boats with his dad up there in New Jersey, and his dad was a former NASCAR Busch North driver, back in the day. So. And, Martin, though, he's been around for a long time, but, he's a guy I think's one of the more popular guys in the sport for sure.
So can he sway, I guess my question, some of the junior fans or the Kenseth? NASCAR doesn't want this fan base to go away. They want them to switch gears or shift to go to Chase Elliott or Ryan Blaney or somebody, Kyle Busch, pick somebody. So can he do that?
I think he can to a small degree, but I think, those guys you're mentioning, the young guys, Chase Elliott's, the Ryan Blaney's, the Kyle Larson's, some of those young guys are who NASCAR's really looking at as maybe taking the sport into the future.
Danica, we're talking to Jeff Birchfield. Danica Patrick hits the wall, lap 142, a car catches on fire. She's out. She's done, but she's come back doing the Danica double next year for the Daytona 500 and the Indianapolis 500. So what's your take on her doing the double?
I sort of like it. I'm glad she's ending her career in Indy cars. She had more success in those type of vehicles. Daytona, is probably her biggest moment in NASCAR is when she won the pole for the Daytona 500. And honestly, she's probably got a better shot there than any other track with it, a restrictor plate track like that and all. But then to finish at Indy, I think is fitting for her because that's really where she first made her name, made such a big splash on the national stage.
So what would you tell Kyle Busch this morning if you could sit down and talk to him? Because I know he's got to be. I mean, got up on his back bumper and was hanging with him for the last 10 laps, but couldn't get around him to win it. What do you tell Kyle Busch or Kevin Harvick or Brad Keselowski?
Well, I think with Kyle Busch, he obviously gave it all he could. I mean, he tried different lines and all, but I mean, as we've seen all year long, that 78 car has just been the dominant car. I think Kyle Busch did as good a job driving as anyone possibly could. In that situation. And the strategy didn't work out, and sort of coincidentally, it was Kurt Busch who hit the wall, spun out, that brought out the caution that ended up backfiring on Kyle Busch's team. But then I think Kevin Harvick and Brad Keselowski, same way. I mean, they all gave really great efforts, as you would expect from all those guys. They're all champion drivers. And, like I said, good for Martin Truex Jr., too. I mean, that's what a feather in his cap for his career.
Busch hard charging to catch Martin Truex Jr., and as you said, his brother spun out, threw out the caution, and kind of changed the whole dynamics of that last part of the race. So they may be able to talk about that over Thanksgiving dinner. At one point, they didn't really socialize or were around each other. Has that changed? They still kind of at arm's length?
No, I think that's changed a lot. I think the relationship, they're a lot closer again. They did have that one little stretch, but I think overall, I think they get along pretty well now.
Talking to Jeff Birchfield, let's talk some other things that he has been working on. I know you had a great article Friday with about Adam Townsend. How'd he do?
Adam Townsend lost a majority decision. First part of the fight, the guy comes and kicks him with a low blow. 2 low blows there early in the fight. What a way to get started, and the guy got penalized a point. But 3 of the judges called it a draw. Other couple had Adam losing by a couple points. But, he gave a great effort. I mean, the guy he's fighting's about 5 inches taller than him, just sort of a lanky guy, but he's muscular and all. And, I mean, just Adam, I thought, made a good account for himself. And then also we followed up, too, with Robert Hall Jr., the Johnson City boxer. He lost by a 9th-round knockout a week ago, but, he's fighting pretty tough competition guy. He was fighting the number 6 ranked in the world right now.
What are you working on this week?
Well, Hardee's Classic down here. We're at Hardee's, and, I'll be there for the opening game. My alma mater, Happy Valley, takes on Volunteer in the first game, and then, of course, the big game of the night, the only 2 schools that have 5 Hardee's Classic championships, Unicoi County, who's also the defending champion and really good team this year, and David Crockett, the host team's going to be playing, so that should be a fantastic game for the 7 o'clock matchup. And then, like you said, you've got the North-South rivalry at the 5:30 game, and then the 8:30 game, you got Northview Academy and Daniel Boone, so that should be a nice matchup as well.
Oh, it's a great quadruple to get us started. The Hardee's Classic, they play today, tomorrow, off Wednesday and Thursday, then back in on Friday and Saturday. We'll be there broadcasting the Friday night and the Saturday night semifinals on Friday, consolation championship on Saturday. Jeff said he's going to come up and hang out with us for a little bit. Clark Powers, former coach and basketball analyst, guy's written books. I was at his house here last week, and he's written books on offense some of the college coaches are using, and this guy has forgotten more basketball, so he'll be our color commentator coming up on Friday and Saturday. It's right down the road here in Jonesborough, the 28th annual Hardee's Classic. So we've kind of switched from the fall sports into the winter sports now here in November, with the exception of the Greenville Green Devils. They're playing in the state quarterfinals, and they had a heck of a game down, 21-0?
Yeah.
They came back and beat Anderson County at home.
Yeah, 35-31, great win for Greenville. I was lucky enough to see them play earlier this year when they played Science Hill, and the quarterback, Cade Ballard, just such an efficient player, doesn't make very many mistakes at all and stuff. But you're right, as far as us, we've gone basketball mode. I was over there, I covered a couple of ETSU women's games over the weekend, including yesterday. Tiana Tartar did what Tiana Tartar always does, just played, lights out, and had like 33 points and 7 steals, 5 assists, 7 rebounds. Just an amazing game she had yesterday.
Beat Duquesne 81-77. Lady Bucks now go to 4-1 on the season. The men open up their season tonight at home. Home opener at Freedom Hall at 7 o'clock against Delaware State. I would think on paper that's a checkbook game for the Bucks to beat Delaware State. It's probably a team they should get. I thought they made a great representation at Rupp Arena on Friday night. You got beat by 17, but at one point you had Kentucky. You kind of knew at some point they were going to kick it in, but for a while the Bucks were dominating the Wildcats, and to go up there and not get blown out and lose by 17. I think anytime you play a top 25 team and you keep it under 20 points, even though you lose, I think it's a moral victory. I think that can do nothing make you better in the Southern Conference.
I agree with you, and I'm a North Carolina fan. I mean, that's probably my favorite sports team of any, but I will say, of all the teams in college basketball, if you look at tradition, I think Kentucky ranks second at UCLA all-time championships. Kentucky has the, most wins of any program. It's probably the greatest program in the history of college basketball. And really, they're a young team, but I watched a little bit of the Kentucky-Kansas game the other night, and Kansas with a little more veteran team, that young Kentucky team gave them all they could handle.
Oh yeah, they're, Calipari said, "Hey, don't look at me now. Look at me when we get ready for the SEC tournament. When I get these guys molded and kind of shaped and get the chemistry going." By the way, your Tar Heels play at Stanford tonight. That should be an interesting game.
Yeah, it should be a tough game. Always, Roy, he always has a tough out-of-conference schedule that they play as well, for sure.
Tennessee plays later on this week. The men's team will play at Purdue. And so we'll keep you posted on that. We'll be tomorrow at Jim Klein Farmers Insurance in Kingsport. Wednesday and Thursday taking the days off for the holiday. And back on Friday at Champion Chevrolet on the Bristol Motor Mile, Johnson City. We're talking to Jeff Birchfield. He's on the screen of the Johnson City Press. And so you switch gears. Let's take a look at college football. I keep hearing John Gruden in Knoxville. I just don't see it. He's 95 and 81 as a coach, but I keep hearing he's the man. What are you hearing?
Well, I mean, those rumors went crazy over the weekend. I know that guy tweeted out the picture of some guy's back of his head and Peyton Manning having lunch at Calhoun's and just got to silly point over the weekend. But, I mean, I really, at this point, I mean, I guess Gruden just loves that attention. But, I mean, if he's not interested in a job, I just wish he'd come out, and put an end to those rumors. I mean, you would think either Dan Mullen, the coach at Mississippi State, would be a better fit, or as we talked, I like Brent Venables, the guy who's the defensive coordinator at Clemson and, also was at Oklahoma when they won the national championship back in 2000. Who's been a long-time assistant. I mean, and you've got a lot of really good candidates, out there. Mike Norville down there in Memphis has done a good job. It just depends, what route, UT wants to go and all.
Well, as I said earlier, and I've said Friday, it's a hurry up and wait situation. You want to hurry up and get somebody in there because recruiting, it's that time. But you also want to wait and get the right one. The problem with waiting is, for example, yesterday UCLA fires Jim Moore. This guy was 46 and 30 in 6 seasons at UCLA. So there's another, I would think, a pretty good job, a plum job. But you're in LA, great recruiting base. You're up against Southern Cal. You're in the Pac-12, a great football conference out on the West Coast. That's a pretty good job. So there's another one that's going to be attractive to some of these coaches that you keep batting these names around, like Scott Frost and Mike Norville and Chip Kelly and Les Miles, and there's more guys out there that will come forward. So Tennessee's, I just don't see John Gruden, but I could be wrong. Maybe that's why we're not hearing anything. It's a done deal. Some guy got on Facebook and said he's already talked to Jay Graham and gosh, who was the other guy he talked to about coming back? Cutcliffe to come back and be on the staff, and where do these people get the stuff? But I'm like you. If he's not going to do it, come out and say you're not going to do it. I mean, he's milking this thing like a Jersey cow as far as attention. He being John Gruden, I think.
Yeah, I agree with you. And the thing you just mentioned, Chip Kelly. I mean, he seems to be a
Florida.
Well, everybody says Florida, but I think he'd be a natural fit at UCLA. Everybody says he's really more of a West Coast guy. So that would seem. And he's been a coach in the Pac-12 before, and I mean, we saw that with like Rick Neuheisel, coached at Washington and coached at UCLA. So I could see Chip Kelly going, where he coached previously at Oregon, and now UCLA being, the same way.
Had a story on Friday with Gus Malzahn. They're recruiting him or courting him to come back to Arkansas because that's where he's from. He played in high school in Fort Smith, and his first coaching job was in Arkansas. And so I don't see that. Auburn, of course, he's playing in the Iron Bowl. If he can pull off the upset against Alabama, that changes everything in college football. It's a 50-50 chance it'll happen. They're playing in Auburn, but Gus Malzahn to Arkansas, I don't see that.
I could actually see it happen. The reason being is Arkansas, if you remember last year you brought up Les Miles, everyone said that was a game where the losing coach is going to get fired, and it came down to that last play of the game, and he's always on the hot seat at Auburn and all. I mean, you're constantly against Alabama, so Arkansas, I think he would do a good job there, but I mean, Auburn's a plum job. Overall, I think Auburn's a better job to have than Arkansas.
Kevin Sumlin, Texas A&M. Nobody's talking about him coming to Tennessee.
No, not the Kevin Sumlin. I mean, he was like Butch Jones starting the season on the hot seat, but they won, some games, so he may have done enough to save his job down there this year.
Of course, I don't think your Arkansas coach is out. I thought maybe the Missouri coach is in trouble, but he's they're actually bowl eligible. They got 7 wins, and Missouri, after one of the games thumping Tennessee, Missouri's got 7. They're in, and so the teams on the bubble. Ole Miss needs to beat Mississippi State to get bowl eligible. Florida, if they can beat Florida State in Gainesville on Saturday, they'll have 6 wins. Of course, Tennessee and Vanderbilt playing each other. They won't go anywhere this year, so it's going to be interesting.
I think that's the single biggest indictment on the Tennessee football program in the last few years. You mentioned Missouri. If you look at the history, the tradition of Tennessee football, and then the history of Missouri football, and Missouri's gone 4-1 against Tennessee. I mean, you would think Tennessee, even in a down year, would be able to beat Missouri, but they've not been able to, obviously.
You got it. So it's interesting sports time. It's pretty cool. You're transitioning college football. Of course, you got high school and college basketball. You got the NFL, which we don't talk about. They're still out there. Marshawn Lynch stood for the Mexico national anthem and kneeled or sat on the bench during the United States national anthem. President Trump comes out and says the guy should be kicked, suspended. I agree, but they're not going to. It's called the NFL Players Association. They're going to protect them to the union, but what a disgrace. And so for that reason and many others, we don't talk about the NFL on this show anymore unless Jason Witten does something good. And the Cowboys got beat last night, and he was almost non-existent. They didn't give him the ball too much at all. So, he's got, 1 or 2 more years on his contract. I look for Jason to kind of ride off into the sunset and hang this thing up.
Well, you would think so. I mean, not only Jason, but also Cody Sensabaugh with Pittsburgh. He come up with some big plays the other night, and then also with Daniel Kilgore's been the starting center for San Francisco. So, definitely proud of all of our local guys. But yeah, I know what you're saying. I think maybe more appropriate than a punishment to Marshawn Lynch would have been just leave him in Mexico.
I like that. Where's Marshawn? He's in Mexico. He ain't coming back. So it's pitiful. And I was a big Raiders fan. I don't care if they win another ball game. It doesn't look like they're going to. The big year of the Super Bowl and all this. And I bet you when it's all said and done, Marshawn Lynch has been a clubhouse locker room cancer because they have not done anything like they should have and what everybody projected. So they're paying Derek Carr a lot of money to be back there and be a 4-6 football team. So anyway, NFL, nope, unless it's about Jason Witten. Yep, we'll talk about him all day long. In closing here, the college football is getting ready to come out with the Jason Witten Award for someone who's a humanitarian award, and they're going to make that the very first award this year. What a testament to a guy that's in our neck of the woods. I mean, of all the football players that they could do this college football, they've elected to name an award after Jason Witten. What an honor.
It is such an honor. And I mean, I would argue, I've seen these lists where they'll name the top 10 tight ends of all time, and for a while they didn't even name Jason in the top 10. I argue he's the greatest tight end of all time because the reason I say that, Tony Gonzalez has the better receiving numbers and all. Jason's number 2 on the list, though, as far as receiving. But also, this guy goes out and plays every play. He goes out and blocks. A lot of these guys, nowadays that play the position are nothing more than glorified slot receivers, So, I mean, Jason's a guy who goes out there on every running play and, throws the block. And, I mean, he even plays special teams and stuff. It's wild. You'll see him out there on the, extra point attempts blocking. And also, what a testament, to him. Just what a terrific player he has been. I know Tony Romo had that argument a couple of years ago. He may be the greatest Dallas Cowboy ever. And, I mean, I think he at least deserves mention in the same breath as Emmitt Smith and Roger Staubach. If not, he may actually be the greatest now.
Absolutely. Quick story on Jason Witten. I was over there watching a football game this year. It was their off week, and I can't remember if they were playing now. I guess it was South. Anyway, we're at Elizabeth and Dresses because they don't have a field house. They're working on trying to get one, but they kind of go back up in this little alcove area that's kind of dimly lit. It's right out. I mean, it's actually outside where they all sit and cool off on a hot night. Anyway, it's kind of dark, and I'm up there talking to Sean at halftime, just sitting there kind of shooting the bull. Next thing I know, this guy walks up, is my height, maybe a little bit taller, but anyway, he says, "Hello, I'm Jason Witten." I thought, he didn't have to do that. I mean, most people seek him out, but very nice guy and just a class act, and I'm tickled to death that he has been named this award for all the guys in college football you can name this for. They've went back and got Jason Witten for what he's done. So
you know what that story tells us, what an honor it is to meet Tom Taylor.
That's a good way to quit this. That's a good way to end this. Let him go eat. I think he's getting delirious. I appreciate you, man. You're awesome. All right. I'll see you down at the Hardee's this weekend, and probably won't see you before Friday, so happy Thanksgiving to you and yours. We're glad you're back up here.
Yeah, you too, Tom. Always appreciate everything, man.
Florida's loss is Tennessee's gain to get him back up here and be a part of the sports family here in the Tri-Cities. So appreciate him very much. That's going to do it from here. We want to say thanks to our guest as always, and we'll pull this in here and let him go get him something to eat if he wants to, and I think he will, because I'm going to be right behind him, run right up his back. If he's in my way, I'm going to get some lunch here again at Hardee's. And so we want to say thanks to our guests, Karen Hubbs and the Turkey Trot. Also, of course, we checked in Mike Hedrick, the NASCAR fan reporter, Greg Salyer, the Major League Baseball update. And so we appreciate Greg Salyer and Mike Hedrick and Karen Hubbs and Jeff Birchfield, and of course the folks here at Hardee's. Again, one more time, you've got these $5 All-Star meals. You can't beat it. There they are. And of course, there's the number one, which I'm getting ready to get, the double cheeseburger and jumbo hot dog. The number two, the three-piece ham breaded chicken tenders. The number three, the double cheeseburger and onion rings. The number four, the double cheeseburger and spicy chicken sandwich. All those for $5. And also the breakfast special going on right now. They're featuring the Frisco breakfast sandwich. The meat you choose from ham or sausage or bacon, with a slice of American and Swiss cheese, an egg and sourdough bread, and the price point is only $3.49 at your local Hardee's across the Tri-Cities, or really anywhere. It's a national promotion going on right now. So for you kids up there, including AT and all the folks up in West Virginia, or wherever you may be, down in South Carolina or in Kentucky or in Elizabethton, or Renee McNeil, wherever you folks are watching on show number 638, this is good for there as well. All right, here's the Hardee's Classic again one more time. Is why we're here to promote this in Jonesborough, right down the road, a quadruple hitter at 4 o'clock to get it all started. Volunteer and Chuck Babb and the Happy Valley Warriors. At 5:30, it's the Civil War, Sullivan North and Sullivan South. At 7 o'clock tonight, as Jeff alluded to, this is the marquee game, I think, for the tournament outside of the championship. Crockett and Unicoi County both have won the most championships in this tournament. Unicoi County, the defending champ, they got Trevor Hensley. This kid is D1 material all the way. Had 31 a couple of nights ago against Volunteer. They'll play at 7 o'clock. And then Coach Chris Brown and his Daniel Boone Trailblazers will take on Northview Academy at 8:30 tonight. So some great basketball going on again at the Hardee's Classic. And it all gets started at 4 o'clock, 5:30, 7, and 8:30. Tomorrow, Jeff County and Morristown East get into the mix. We'll tell you about that. We'll take Wednesday and Thursday off and come back on Friday and Saturday. We'll broadcast the semifinals at 7 and 8:30 on Friday night. Clark Powers and myself. And then on Saturday, it's the consolation game at 7 and the championship at 8:30 on Saturday as well. We are out of time. We sincerely thank you for yours. We dedicate this show to the man who hung on the cross. We unashamedly give this is the Lord's show. And so before we get out of here, let's read the verse again as we do every day. The verse of the day goes as follows. Acts 2:25 through 27 says, "Because I'm at your right hand, you will not be shaken. Therefore, let your heart be glad, your tongue rejoice, live in hope. I will not abandon you." You know, going into the holiday season, again, Thanksgiving, where we say to give thanks, and there it is. I take that with me every day. Then we're going to switch to a Christmas tree next week. But, you know, every day is a day to give thanks because it's just the fact that this thing's still ticking. And how many people are going to be in the hospital this weekend over the holiday and can't get out, would love to be out, or the loved ones are going to be stuck in a hospital room with their loved ones? I mean, we just, you know, the cup is half full, not half empty. There's so many things to be thankful for, and so I hope that you do that, not just one day a year, but every day. Be thankful for what you have, and certainly what the Lord's done for you. And He's always, as it says here, "I'm at your right hand. You will not be shaken. Let your heart be glad, your tongue rejoice, live in hope, and I will not abandon you or leave you." How about that? It's a good way to end the show. Out of time. We sincerely thank you for yours, for all the guests, and for the folks here at Hardee's, including our buddy Miss Shannon. We will rejoin you tomorrow in Kingsport with Jim Klein Farmers Insurance. Speaking of some cool people, kind of breaking format a bit, but Angie Grigsby's going to come by tomorrow. We had a chance to go to the Lamplight Theater on Saturday to see the show Yuletide. It's going to be back on this weekend in downtown Kingsport. Phenomenal show. It's Christmas at its finest. It's a bunch of all local folks that are very, very talented, from little kids all the way up to adults. Angie's one of those, and I asked her to come by tomorrow and promote the show, promote the Lamplight, and she is glad to do that. So that, among others, will be with us tomorrow on the show from Jim Klein Farmers Insurance in Kingsport, one of our great sponsors. Wednesday and Thursday, we're taking those 2 days off. and back in the saddle Friday at Champion Chevrolet. So, for Jeff Birchfield, Greg Salyer, Karen Hubbs, and Mike Hedrick, and, of course, our folks from here at Hardee's, this is Tom Taylor telling you, as always, win or lose, be a good sport. And we'll talk to you tomorrow from Kingsport, Jim Klein Farmers Insurance. So long, everybody.